Mm-hmm.
I started. It's just taking very long. There we go. Hello, people. Welcome. We are live. We are in effect. I am your host for today, so we will not be running overtime if I have anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
We had one game yesterday, game 6. One team was down 3-2, but they are now tied at 3-3. We headed to a game 7, our first game 7 of the second round. One team's second game 7 of the playoffs. Swiper is, of course, the Denver fan, so I'm gonna go straight to Swiper. Swiper, what are your thoughts on your Denver Nuggets being able to force a game 7?
It's a very mellow introduction into the show, which I think speaks to the difference in personality as the host. Get straight to it, no flabbergaster, not a lot of yapping. Yeah, I mean, it was a.
Is the yapping necessary, Swiper? Is the yapping necessary at
well, I think
any point?
Remember, it's Friday, so it's going off the rails today at some point.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great game. I think that OKC, as they should be, they were the substantial favorite coming into the series, and I think Denver, time and time again, they have proven that having championship grit and having been there before, the Nuggets have basically been in the playoffs since 2017-18, like fighting to get in the playoffs, and they missed the playoffs that year. So like they've been failing. I've talked about this a lot on my channel. Like, you have to learn how to fail over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in order to win. I think your Celtics and your Tatum, the same thing. They've been there. 6 Eastern Conference Finals, I think, is what it is.
Yes, sir.
They won
18,
one title.
18, 20, 22, 23, 24, 5 of them.
Yeah. So
maybe 6 this year, maybe.
Yeah. And then Tatum went to two finals, and then they lost the first one as a favorite, and then they won the next one.
Yes, sir.
I fully have always been of the idea that you have to be able to learn how to lose. And the Nuggets, they learn how to lose more than anybody because they've lost a lot. And I think game 7s, they've been in this situation for years. Chill, this is their 7th game 7 since 2019.
Yikes.
This is their third time having first round, second round game 7s since 2019.
It's the third series in a row.
Of game 7s.
It's the third series in a row.
Oh, yeah.
They played game 7. Third series in a row. Last year against Minnesota, this year against the Clippers, and now game 7 here. Third series in a row. Sure.
Yeah,
now, with that being said, Swiper, and with that being said, how have you? Because Swiper, you're the resident Denver guy, and how confident are you? Because I've seen you guys on the road in game 7. I've seen you guys at home in game 7, and I mean, it hasn't been awful. It hasn't been great, but I think the group that you have, I do like your chances. How do you like your chances in game 7 on Sunday afternoon?
Well, they're 4-2 career-wise game 7.
Sure.
I spoke yesterday, and I think that one of the things that has changed them, I think them losing as the title favorite last year in game 7, that is probably the thing that is powering them. Now, Jokic won't say that because Jokic doesn't hold on to past things like that, and I believe him because this is not how his style is. But for the team, they definitely remember in their bones what it felt like losing, being up 3-2, getting decimated in game 6, and then losing on your home floor in game 7. And they remember the feeling. They remember why. Jokic talked about the thing that wins you game 7s is execution, rebounding, and turnovers, and basically playing smart. And I think all this is coming here to the Nuggets have to win the rebounding battle. They have to play smart. I actually feel really good about Denver in this situation. Again, I picked before the series started Denver wins in 7. I thought this had 7 written all over it just because of how the two teams are built. Also, too, the Nuggets were going to have to figure out OKC over time. OKC is they're a juggernaut for a reason, and I think everybody watched this series. You can see why they're a juggernaut.
Yep.
But I do think it works in their favor in that they've had all the experience. Them having to overcome being down 3-2. And then getting that win in Denver, and then the way they played last night, I think Jamal Murray going through his own version of a flu game in game 6, and then having Julian Strawther, come off the bench and give you 15. I think Jokic has, I don't want to say figured out because, I will say he's figured them out better. Like he has gotten comfortable with them. Porter still is not Porter. He did have 10 and 4 yesterday, but he's averaging 7 points a game in the series. I think Christian Brown, he had 23, 11, and 5 yesterday and 3 steals and a block. Sure. Jokic had 3 stocks last night on 29 points, 14 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, it's just like all the way around, Chill. I just think that the whole team they just fought.
I picked Denver. I picked Denver. I'm sorry. I picked Oklahoma City to win this series in 6, and I actually thought that was going to happen because I just felt like before the series started, I thought the turnovers were going to be the difference, and I feel like that they did capitalize on them. But I said to you guys before this year started with Oklahoma City, and you guys really got on me about it, that I didn't think that Oklahoma City, I thought that they could get there, but I didn't think that they could win it off the strength that I didn't think that J-Dub was there yet. I thought that he would get there eventually. Mars and I had a conversation about experience and how much experience matters when you're trying to get to a point where you're a champion. And J-Dub in this series, Swiper, he's shooting 23% from the floor, and he's shooting under 20% at the long ball line. That's what I'm getting from him. I think that you guys have done a really good job in giving up shots to him that he's not particularly good at making consistently. That's number one. Number two, I think your zone has really affected them. I didn't think that it would, considering the guard play that they have and how big the zone was. I thought that they could take advantage of the way you guys play zone with the 2 wide high. I thought that guys like Alex Caruso could get into the teeth of the defense. I thought that guys like SGA could get into the teeth of the defense, J-Dub as well, but that doesn't seem to happen. And I think one of the main reasons for that, and I watched it yesterday, I think Joker has done a good job in the zone and stepping up in the middle of that zone and slowing down the penetration and slowing down guys getting all the way to the rim. Now, we all know Joker's rim protection, and we have a tendency to talk a little bit much about it. But with that being said, I think that zone has really affected Oklahoma City and J-Dub in particular, because I feel like he's getting rushed. With all of that being said, Swiper, in Game 7, I think all of that stuff goes out the window. My best player has to be the best player. That has to happen. And I don't think that Joker, and I know you don't agree with this, I don't think 40, 20, and 15 is the answer. I don't think that. I think something along the lines of what I saw last night. Very much like what I saw in Game 7 when you guys played the Clippers. If you can get a balanced attack, but my best player is the catalyst to that balanced attack. Because I don't think Joker wants to play like that. I don't think he wants to have 40, 50. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he wants to get his. I think
Joker wants to do whatever does the job.
100%. I do think that, but I don't think that he wants to just, give me the ball on the block and I'm going to score 50. Give me the ball and let me go one-on-one. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he wants to do it within the flow of the offense. With that being said, I think in this Game 7, as you all know, role players play better at home. I could see.
Well, the best role player game so far of the series was OKC's role players in Denver in Game 4. Because that's when they went 7-12 off the bench with Caruso, Wallace, and Wiggins. But I think, Chill, wouldn't you say, though, like last year, the stars did step up for Denver. Jokic had 34, 19, and 7. Jamal Murray had 35 and 7, I think. They didn't have one other player score more than 7 points in that game. Like, that's why they lost. Like, Porter, Gordon, KCP, Brown, Justin Holiday, none of them scored over 7 points. And everybody, I think Jokic had 21 in the second half. Jamal had 15 in the second half. Everybody got tight. Like, everybody did. I think, if anything, it has to be the opposite. I think, you definitely need your 2 spearheading it and capitalizing. But I think on the other end of this too, like, we're going to have to get two of the other starters and also probably one bench person in order to.
And I feel like that's what's been going on throughout the course of this series. Like, Jamal Murray will give me that stellar third quarter performance. He'll give me that stellar second quarter performance, right? One of these other guys will give me that quarter where I'm giving you 13 in the quarter. I'm getting downhill. I'm getting to the rim. I'm getting fouled. I'm coming up with big steals. You'll get that. And then what'll end up happening is my big in Joker, okay, I'll take us home from here. And with that being said, I think I'm looking at more of a balanced attack from Joker. I picked Oklahoma City to win this thing in 6. I'm sticking with Oklahoma City, but I wouldn't be surprised if Denver won in Game 7. That would not surprise me at all. Not at all.
We have a super chat from Hunter regarding this series. He said, if I told you one of these defenses was maybe the best ever and one was the 22nd ranked regular season defense, you wouldn't believe me the way this series has played out. Swiper, why did your team suddenly become one of the best defenses in the NBA?
They've done that throughout in the past too, Swiper. Your team has picked it up The year y'all won the NBA championship, you played so
No,
much
but-
better defensively in the
because
playoffs.
I don't want to rewrite history with this team. Like that year they won the championship. They finished 15th. They started 29th. And then by December 22nd through the rest of the year, I think they were 6th.
So
They
top
turned the intensity up and they figured their scheme out. And then they were the number 3 playoffs through the playoffs that whole year. They were a different level of defense. This year was none of that. They didn't have any, and please correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't have any stretch beyond 9 games where they were a top 10 defense. And even in that stretch, it's not like they were like playing versus like the best of the best. They weren't. They didn't show any of this aggression consistently. Jokic for sure didn't. Brown wasn't. We didn't think he was a good POA defender. Across the board, they were a 29th ranked first half defense show, and then they were a top 10 ranked second half defense. That was the whole season. The whole season they were like that.
Right.
So once the playoffs started, though, David Adelman, big credit to him, he started adjusting their scheme. They also committed to spending more effort. 15 in particular started committing more effort to playing on that side of the ball. I think Murray, who's done a great job, fighting like Kawhi Leonard was going at him because Kawhi is obviously 4 inches bigger than him and weighs more than him and all that. Christian Brown, the one-on-one assignments with SGA and with Harden, he's taking those personal. Peyton Watson's been really good. Aaron Gordon, I think when he's gotten healthy, he's been very good. Michael Porter Jr. has even competed. Everybody's competing. That's the difference between the regular season and what they've been doing as of right now, Chill. And again, like I told everybody, like it starts with 15. If 15 shows effort, the Nuggets can play defense. If 15 doesn't play effort,
he gave a good effort yesterday, 100%.
He's been incredible.
He gave a great effort yesterday.
He has been legitimately incredible to good for most of the playoffs. And
I also think it matters in the playoffs because it's a lot different in the regular season when I'm seeing different lineups, I'm seeing different matchups. If I can focus solely on one team, I think it's less difficult for me to figure that team out than on a game-to-game basis in the regular season where I got to figure out a number of different teams throughout the course of the regular season. If I'm playing against Oklahoma City, and I'm playing against Oklahoma City, who I've already seen 4 times this year, they're in our division. In the process of them being in our division, now I get to see them in the playoffs. I think it's much less difficult for me to figure them out than to have to figure out Toronto and then have to figure out Minnesota and then have to figure out the Clippers and then have to figure out the Trailblazers and other teams like that on the fly. So I think that one of the main reasons why Denver's defense has been better is because they've adjusted. I feel like they've adjusted to what Oklahoma City does offensively.
Yeah, they're playing zone more than I ever thought they would play zone.
I feel like, and I
they
feel like
started off a 1-3-1 zone yesterday. By the way, it didn't work, but
they got rid of that real quick. Yeah, they got rid of that real quick.
But
no
to be fair, though, I think OKC over the series they're averaging less, if I remember correctly, less than 0.95 points per possession versus the zone. But also over the course of the series, I think OKC in the half court they're averaging almost like 0.78 points per possession versus a man defense with Denver. But I think what everybody has to pay attention to, the Nuggets man defense in the SGA lineups, very, very good. Like very, very good with like Hart and Dort in the starters. But then once the Nuggets start going to the bench and then they start going to their bench, they have to be able to get out of the zone, in particular when they get all their shooters on the court, because that's how they're breaking that zone coverage from Denver, in particular with J-Dub handling the basketball as opposed to SGA over the course of the series, because they're finding too many opportunities, especially on the perimeter, to shoot. And that's why, again, they won 2 of the games that they won so far. But overall, I think the Nuggets have committed a stupendous amount of effort defensively. I think their funneling system has been phenomenal. But also on the other end, Mars, dare I say, as the series has gone on, I think OKC has really, 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 really struggled to guard them. And more specifically, the starters. The starters have been like very good offensively. But chill, once they start getting the rust, Peyton Watson and whoever else is going to be the other player, and they start taking Murray and all that stuff out, that's when everything falls apart.
Well, I think they've shortened like Hartenstein. I think they've shortened Chet's production because of where they're shooting. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, Hartenstein is going to be really good around the rim with that left-hand floater. But when you push him a little bit further away from the basket, that left-hand floater isn't nearly as lethal, especially when we get late in games. Same thing with Chet. I noticed yesterday Chet was playing a little bit further away from the basket as the game went on. And I think that was largely due to, when we're talking about that zone, we had Joker leaning on him. And with Joker leaning on him, I think that he wore them down, just like I feel like your perimeter guys wore down. I feel like your perimeter guys wore down Oklahoma City in that zone in particular. J-Dub, which is another reason why I am the way I am about Oklahoma City. You need playmakers. Like getting buckets, I can appreciate that. You need guys who can score, but you also need guys who can make plays for other people. And when I can get a guy who can get inside the teeth of the defense, make plays for other guys, beat up on your big man, get fouls on him, get him off the floor, I think that's a huge advantage for your crew. J-Dub has not been doing that, and he's been able to get to the rim throughout the course of the season. He hasn't been able to do that in this series, and I think that's largely due to that zone that they're in. Now, I also want to preface, Oklahoma City, no matter what they did defensively, they weren't prepared for Strawther to come off the bench and give them 15 points. That just was not on a bingo card.
But they've been playing that gamble system the whole series, though. They were banking on the fact that the Nuggets didn't have any players to punish OKC for overloading their interior help on Jokic. And as soon as the Nuggets get it, though, that's when the run happened. Like that, and I think that for me is everything. I'm talking about this whole time. Russ did it in the first round, but this whole series has been OKC is gambling their tail off on Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook, Peyton Watson, and Michael Porter Jr. right now because of the injury. And then now they were also gambling on Julian Strawther. But again, the moment that somebody's able to take advantage of these wide open shots, did y'all know this in the Nuggets losses in the playoffs versus OKC? They're shooting 25% on open threes. I think they're 15 to 67 on open threes. Nice. And again, open as in 6 feet or more.
Right.
So they shot 40% in the first round. They shot 38% in the season. Sure. So like they're underperforming catastrophically, but I think when you get moments like this where they're able to execute and hit these shots, I think that's where the ball game comes down to. And I think Game 7 is just going to be a complete and utter dogfight. It's probably going to be like 93, 95, one way or the other. Have no idea, but it's going to be one of those games where it's just
I can see that. I can see a 93-89 game, like a 97-92 game. I can definitely see something
Swiper,
like that.
did you just say you have no idea who's gonna win?
What?
Did you just say you have no idea who's gonna win?
No.
So you know who's gonna win?
I already picked Denver before the series started.
There we go. Okay, just make sure.
Anyway.
Just make sure.
Back to the conversation. So some of this is, I think it depends on who they get to that point.
Sure.
But I mean, like I said, Game 6, just Jamal Murray, I think fighting through a flu game like that where he was that sick and he was clearly labored. They said they were going to test the first 6 minutes of the game and see how he felt.
He didn't look like a swiper. He didn't look like he was laboring. He looked like he was getting to the rim like he normally does.
He looked like he was dying on the bench.
But it was almost like when he got on the floor, like he got activated. But when he got on the
welcome to the Jamal Murray experience.
When he got on the bench,
what type of flu he got?
I don't know if it's the flu, but he's sick. He was sick enough to where they were treating him before the game, and then they didn't know if he would be able to function through the first quarter. But Jamal doesn't. When Jamal Murray is ailed is when he's at his best because he just for whatever reason, his brain just
I gotta give Coach Edelman credit for putting that battery in Strawther's back. I mean, because we had talked about this Denver Nuggets rotation, and they only got, legit, 6-7 guys, and for Strawther to come in and had that kind of confidence to shoot the basketball, and once he saw one of them go in, and I feel like that kind of energized the rest of the group that if they're going to get this kind of production from him, then that just energizes the rest of the group. I mean, Russ started playing faster, which can sometimes be
yesterday for the most part. Though.
That's a big reason why Strawther started getting minutes because Russ was on nonsense.
And that's why that's the main reason why I can appreciate.
I don't understand it though, Chill. Like for a player to be in their year 17 to not understand.
The swiper. He only plays at one speed. That's why there is no in between.
But like Chill, but it's even the moment he didn't do that versus the Clippers series. Like missing shots is one thing, but he's up. It's up. The score is up 10. Again, I'm not going to blame him for everything. I'm just saying his stint. He threw 2 entry passes.
Oh,
that one was completely contested, and but they're up 10. Chill. I'm saying there's no reason to gamble. Just you're already up 10. Reset the offense. You're going to get a good shot. You're going to get a good look. And then he was forcing shots to the rim. And then remember he missed a wide open layup. And then he forced a basket on another possession, got knocked in the air, and they ran down. I'm like, but they almost scored. They scored transition points on all but one. And the only one they didn't score on Mars was the Peyton Watson block on J-Dub. Because Peyton Watson's a freak athlete.
That was a crazy block. But to Chill's point, talking about David Adelman, Val asked if David Adelman should be the Nuggets' full-time coach. How do you guys feel about it?
I don't have a problem with it. He's been there. He's been there the longest. He's been there with Mike Malone for 7 or 8 years. I think he's been there. He knows all of those guys. I mean, I think that crew may be a little bit different next year, but I mean, he does know what he's doing. Don't get me wrong. You're going to have a new coach that's going to make mistakes, but so do veteran coaches. I'm 100% confident. I saw Spo call a timeout when you don't have any timeouts. I seen him do that. So, I mean, you have coaches make mistakes. So I think that the way his offense is ran, I think a lot of the principles that he does, I think a lot of that stuff is conducive.
Right, he's got twice as many wins in the playoffs as he does in the regular season. So
playoff riser. That's what they call
this
it.
is
Right?
definitely literally the definition of. And again, he beat a Clippers team that I think was better than the regular season numbers because with the Kawhi, they were a top 4 team in the league with Kawhi on the court. And now he's facing, I think, one of the 10 best teams ever. Well, probably better than that. They're probably one of the 5 best regular season teams we've ever seen. Yeah. And he's doing a masterful job. So he deserves a lot of credit for it. But Jordan, I don't know for you, what do you feel like? What was the key yesterday to the game, and why you feel like the game kind of changed, or I guess what moment for you changed the kind of where the game was going?
Immediately, I would probably say Strother when he first got it going. I think seeing him get it going definitely give your team a boost. Like down the stretch, like, oh shit, we ain't gonna be fishing for certain points. Coming from our role players and stuff like that. Just to see him get it going was, to me, that's the turning point because. You can see when nobody else has it going, and you got to rely on Jamal Murray and Jokic to be heroes, and
it sucks.
It sucks, and it's like the criticism gonna come too with that. But at the same time, Oklahoma City got to do that. Like I know Mars said the processing point for SGA is a little bit late. I definitely agree with that. I just want to know why. Like, is it because they offenses let him get off and go, or like what is it? Like to me, I don't know what Oklahoma City system is. I just think Shai's a really good player. They do good with dribble, drive, attacks. But what is their system? Like, what do they do to where they're gonna get to it every game? Like that's my thing with them, and I think that's something that's holding them back a little bit.
Is it fair to say that SGA may? I mean, in year what are we in year 6 or year 7?
Year 7, I think.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 7.
Okay, so maybe, and I mean, I don't know if I'm reaching here, but I feel like SGA. I mean, I think he's figuring it out, but he's still relatively young when it comes to the playoffs. And
yeah, but chill. What is they offense? Like with Denver, they do a lot of post entry passes, or they do a lot of splits. They do a lot of off ball action. They do a lot of cuts.
Oh man, that's those slip screens they were running on SGA. Could you remember SGA was in foul trouble, Jordan?
Yes,
they were trying to do
SGA's defense in the first half was just bad.
They were trying to hide him, and then that first Strother 3, Jordan. Remember at the top of the right wing, they ran that little slip screen where he set a screen for Jamal, but then they tried to get SGA to switch. But then the same thing Reeves and LeBron did to Jamal last year, where Reeves caught Jamal late and he made the 3, and SGA rotated over the top, bro, and Julian burned him. Like, honestly, SGA this is no slander, it's just facts. Like, off-ball defense, SGA, they have put him on Brown, Porter, Strother to keep him out of the initial action shield because they want to rest him. Because he has to carry so much.
I was about to say it's not so much because he's just such a bad defender. I think because they just want
to rest him.
They get this double drag action early with SGA, where SGA is lined up on the left side of the floor. Once he gets the ball, so Hartenstein will come set a screen. He'll dive to the left block, and then with that, Chet will come over, and then Chet will set a screen on him, and then Chet will pop. That's the kind of action that they start with early with SGA. But a lot of their stuff
finish it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And a lot of their stuff, and I said this to you before, Jordan, a lot of their stuff comes from turnovers and in transition.
Right.
A lot of their stuff comes with that. Now, when the game slows down, that's when it gets trickier. Now, don't get me wrong. I think SGA one-on-one, when they'll not necessarily clean the left side of the floor out, they'll get him on the right wing where he'll not necessarily go one-on-one, but they'll get some action where he'll pop and go quick and then get to the rim or get to the mid-range. They got stuff like that going on with him early, but most of their stuff comes in transition because their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's what makes them all time great. Like, I think people are getting lost in their. Like, I posted the PBP earlier today, Mars. I don't know if you saw it, but
+5 of them on, plus like.
Bro, like, excuse me.
+5 with who on?
They're +5.
+5 with Shai on the floor. Go ahead, Swiper.
Well, they're +5 with Shai on the floor. They're +24 when he's off. Chill. Like,
what?
But again, it's because of Caruso. Like it's because of Caruso and Wallace and Dub and Jay Will and Chet and them. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, They don't stop. This is why I'm
Jay Will need to be a lot better than what he is, though. I ain't gonna lie.
But Jay Will been good though.
No, he has not.
No,
Jay
Will has been good. J-Dub.
Oh, J-Dub.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Hold
Jay
on,
Will.
no.
Yeah, Jay Will's been good.
Man, I didn't know Jay. First of all, I didn't know Jay Will had a fan base like that, boy. You start talking about Jay Will, you get fans come from Arkansas out of nowhere. Like, they love Jay Will. I'm talking about every time I open up my messages, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter.
You about the Jay Will defense video you did?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. Like, Jay Will got a crazy fan base. But I do want to say, people keep asking me about what's the update. Jokic just had 40. I'm like, yeah, but he didn't get 40 on Jay Will. Like, I'm like, what's the update? I'm like, you do know the update is he's shooting like 7 for 25 on Jay Will.
He missed a wide open layup on Jay Will yesterday.
Hey man, I'm just saying.
Oh no, then he put his hands in his head. So
I'm just saying, people want to act like Jay Will not doing a good job on him. Like he's doing a good job. Like
but at some point he's just gonna figure it out. And I think that's the whole point.
Of course. One more game, so
you got one more. Swiper 7 for 25 on one guy.
That was that games 2 to 4 stretch. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was.
And don't leave out. Wait a minute.
No.
Don't leave out, Jordan. That coach did go to the triple big lineup, so it wasn't like he was out there by himself. Just
no. I mean, of course not. Of course not. He's not dealing with him like that. But I'm saying some of the things. The reason why Jokic is really good is because he can be physical with a lot of players. Like Chet can't guard him because he's too physical for him. Like. He's just way too physical for him. Like he bump you, get to his spot. It's hard as hell to bump Jay Will. Like he got a center of gravity that just don't. Bro, I watched one play.
How big is he legit, Jordan? How big is he legit?
I think he's like 6'8", 6'9". He's not
6'8", but he big. Like
he's like strong and physical. He's got this wide base. It's like you can't knock.
He don't move. And like I watched one play. Jokic caught him. It was an ISO at the top, right at the free throw line. Jokic bumped him. And he didn't move, and he bumped him again, and then Jokic just passed the ball, and he's like trying to go get another action. I'm like, boy, if that's Chet, he carving Chet out. But
he's doing it the Harden now too, though. But that's what I'm saying. You just got to have bodies, and that to me is just you just got to throw them at Jokic. It's just like, all right, annoy him. That's what Batum did. That's what Dunn, Zubac, like everybody. You just got to throw bodies at him. Caruso. But like I said, at some point Jokic just had to be a man, and I think I said that multiple times. Like I don't, damn all the other stuff, and he has. I think he has I think he's had like a 78 true shooting last 2 games. Like it's just.
Oh yeah, he's been amazing.
Yeah.
He's not missing like a floater anymore.
Yeah, bro. Like and I'm talking about contested, Jordan, over multiple bodies.
Some shots he's just gonna have to make. Yeah, some shots he's just gonna have to make. I also think he has to get out of a mode to where he's holding the ball too long. Like it's very hard for
that right there
to hold the ball so long and then try to go attack. It's like you get off. It's either you're gonna swing it and scream or catch it and go. Like you can't hold it that long because you don't move like a Kyrie Irving. Like you don't move like a Shai to where you can get through some stuff. Like they load up on you and then they're gonna favor the little bitty guards when they try to take charges and shit like that. And it's like that's where Jokic kind of get in trouble at. But when he catch the ball and just go, that's when I think he at an all-time level.
Even Shai ran into that problem. Shai couldn't just wait and let the zone set. But he's been going quicker the last couple games and he's been scoring.
He has to.
So
now he has to.
People say the playoffs slow down, but the answer for Jokic and Shai has been to speed up. So
it slows down in the half court set. My bad, Chill, but it slows down in the half court set as far as like I'm swinging the ball. I'm swinging the ball. The next time I get it, I have to have my plan on what the hell I'm about to do. You can't catch it, figure it out. Like, no, you got to know, like, okay, defense went this way. When I get it, I better go right. I better go left. I better get to a pull-up, a catch and shoot. It has to be something like that. Now, it slows down for them in transition because every team is running their offense. Oklahoma City just don't really run that much offense. They just
I think the zone is part of that, though. I think the zone is taking.
That's why.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Like to Chill's point earlier about the Hartenstein floaters and stuff. It's not that I don't think his floaters are from further out. It's just that they're not in the middle of the floor anymore because they're trying to open up the middle of the floor for Shai. So if I don't know like the numbers. There might be numbers that illustrate this. Like I feel like 80% of Hartenstein's floaters in this series have been on the baselines.
Yeah.
And that's not where he's mastered the floater. He's mastered it in the middle of the paint. But because they're trying to open up the middle of the floor for Shai, which makes sense because Shai is one of the best middle of the floor scorers in the NBA, you can't have Hartenstein there as well within the zone. So you have to have Hartenstein play the baselines, which means when he's getting the floater up, it's like the depth perception is kind of different. And I think that's probably throwing his rhythm off a little bit. He was good last night. I think he made 1, maybe 2 floaters.
Yeah.
Everything else was like the cuts and dunks and stuff. But like that's what I think has impacted OKC's ability to run.
I'll be glad. I'll be glad with the series. If I hope, like I said, I got the next one. I'll be glad when the series is over. I don't want to see Caruso anymore.
Oh,
and that's fine.
MP13. I've seen this one. A little smile came on my face. MP13 said if OKC didn't have Caruso, this series would have been over already. There's distinct stretches where he's preventing the Nuggets from extending leads. He nearly brought the OKC Thunder back last night with the amount of turnovers he was forcing down the stretch.
100%.
But then nonsense decided to occur.
Two straight turnovers created. Yeah.
Bro,
it is amazing. It is amazing to me watching him how he blows up action. It is amazing to me how he just completely just blows action up where they're trying to run with just the 2-man game between him and Joker. I ain't even talking about the 2-man game between him and I don't know, maybe Aaron Gordon.
Get out of my face.
Him
and Aaron Gordon just being one-on-one. He just blows action up. But to your point, Jordan, you had brought something up really interesting, and there's a difference between fast and quick.
Right.
If you go quick, right? If you on the block, Joker's on the block. If he's boom, 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 well, I'm less likely to dive to the rim because the defense is loaded up, as opposed to if he's on the block, boom, and then I go and now I'm looking for the ball. That's quick action right there. But if he's on the block and he's boom, 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 the defense is loading up, and there's really not a lot of room for Russ to get a lane to the basket. There's really not a lot of room for Christian Brown to get to the rim or even relocate because the defense is already loaded on one side of the floor and they're already prepared for what we're going to do. So I feel like when Joker goes quick, I think he puts the defense in a bind as opposed to going fast because Russ plays fast. And when Russ plays fast, that's when he gets himself in the most trouble.
Russ, for me, the problem sometimes with Russ is he does things at the wrong time, man.
Wrong time.
It's like, it's like, and it comes with the good, like that's the good and the bad.
For that. What are you doing, Russ?
Like,
that's not the time.
Russ is one of them players. Like, I used to have a player on my high school team. You couldn't really coach him in the game. Like, you have to just sit him down. Like, but he could be your savior. Like, he has that switch to where, it's like a person with no filter. Like sometimes they say some good things, and sometimes you're like, "Oh shit, man, what the hell you just said?" Like that's Russ. So it's like you can't really say Russ don't do this because then you're gonna take him out of what he does. And sometimes y'all need that. But it comes to a point, it's like, God damn.
That's why
he
stopped playing though. Like you, but
I think you gotta do that. You gotta do that. You got to.
The thing
you can't
is,
tell
like,
him not to do what he do.
You're the senior on the roster. Like if we were in college or college, you're the senior. Everybody else is freshmen and sophomores. You're supposed to be the one that's poised, setting the tone. Russ literally came and disrupted the flow yesterday. And what I'm saying is, Jordan, he didn't do that all like in the Clipper series, though. Like he
made some big plays in the second half yesterday, though.
Yeah, the offensive rebound that he had.
But you see what I'm saying, Mark? That's why
it's high risk, high reward. The issue I have is when you're a superstar, I think you can afford to be more boom or bust because you have the ball so much that the high reward is so evident. You see it so much. The lower your usage rate is, you can't be a role player turning the ball over 4 times.
100%.
I'm sorry, like you
can't play.
Yeah,
you can't. There's no
you can't be low usage and high turnover. That's a conflict of interest. When you're a high usage, high turnover player, you can accept it more because you are kind of responsible for a lot of the offense. The issue with Russ is as his role has diminished, the turnover rates are still just as similar. And the bad plays, like the rate in which they're occurring, is just as similar as when
he took 2 horrible shots, had 2 bad turnovers. And again, it's just if Russ just at least, I can get with the shooting. But why force an entry pass? Just move the ball around. Eventually Jokic will get the ball. Like I'm saying, take less gambles. And then if you have an open shot, everybody wants you to shoot it. But if you miss it, you miss it. If you make it, you make it. Nobody's going to be upset with you about that. But again, it's the momentum stuff. OKC, their entire thing, they cannot score on Denver in the half court consistently, which is news to me. Didn't think that was going to be the case in come playoff time, before the playoff started. But Russ, all you have to do, and Jokic did this. Jokic has 5 turnovers in the last 3 games. He had 1 last night and he had 2 the night before.
Yes.
Like even Jokic was like, as much as he's throwing the ball around, I can't turn the ball over anymore. Now Jamal had 5, but again, I want to be clear.
That was
Jamal,
because of Caruso. That was because
but Jamal's on the ball. Like he's dealing with D guards every possession. Like him turning the ball over is what it is. But yeah, I just overall, Russ needs to be more settled. I think Game 7 could be huge. That could be the biggest playoff moment of Russ's career since 2006, 16 or 12, honestly.
Yeah, but Swiper, I would say, to be honest with you, like it's going to be the biggest game of Adam's career because he's going to have to. Because he's going to have to realize.
It's not a long career.
This is going to be his 17th coach game.
That's cool, but he's going to have to, like you said about Russ, he's going to have to make a decision. Like I said, you can't coach him. You have to either sit him down or play him. Like it's like a shooter. You can't tell a shooter stop shooting. He got to keep shooting, and then when he's not making it, Jordan, as a coach, you got to sit your ass down.
Right, but the difference, Jordan, is that he does so many good things.
No,
and
he does so many bad things too, though.
Right. When he's doing the good things, yeah. But like in the first half yesterday,
it's feast of famine with Russ, and you guys know that with Russ, it's feast.
That's what I'm saying, Chill. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be up to Adelman to just sit him down. Like, I also want people to understand this about Russell Westbrook.
Swipe, you don't think he should play at all?
No, if Russ starts though, if you're up 10,
I'm sorry,
and I'm down, and now it's 6 because the record you out, and then I'll try you again in the second half. But no, we don't have room. In a Game 7, you don't have room to do that, though. Is what I'm saying. Like, but he hasn't. I'm saying, Jordan, he hasn't been in this situation. Now, last series, he was great in Game 7.
Yeah.
But Jordan, the last 5 games of this series,
crickets.
But hold on. I also want to say this: Russ is not the player that you sit down and he's going to be a distraction. Whether Russ is playing or not,
no.
So Adelman has to make a decision now. I also want to get y'all in mind and like put this in y'all mind for y'all because yes, Russ is a role player now, but he used to be a superstar. But also, as the point guard that he wasn't a natural born point guard. Russell Westbrook is a shooting guard, really, that turned into a point guard. So some of the passes that you see him make at the role he plays is now, you kind of dumbfounded by it because it's like he's not naturally a point guard. Like Penn said, Russ isn't a great passer. He's correct. He isn't a great passer, but the thing that made him a good passer and the history that he made was his ability to get downhill and collapse the defense. That was the thing. Now he doesn't have that ability no more. Now he doesn't have the personnel, quite frankly, to do that anymore, too. So you're going to see some badass entry passes. You're like, what the hell you doing? It's like,
here's the thing, Jordan. Here's the thing, Jordan. Well, one, he could still get downhill. Even at 37 years old, he could still get downhill.
Can't get there and finish, though. That shit.
No, he doesn't hop like he used to. I'm not going to argue that. I just think that where we are now with Russ, the leash is shorter because the stuff that he used to be able to get away with, he can't get away with that anymore off the strength of the team that he on. Right. So they don't rely on him
to do that stuff.
Yeah, they don't rely on him as much as they did when he was in Oklahoma City. They don't rely on him as much as they did when he was in Houston. So his margin of error is way different today in Denver than it was when he was in Houston. When he was in Oklahoma City. No, it's not as large.
You mean it's not as large?
That's not what I said. I'm sorry. His margin of error isn't as big. Correct. Mm-hmm. So he can't get away with turning the ball over 4 straight trips.
Yeah. No, and
no.
Also like
you supposed to take
Denver.
You supposed to make it easier for Jamal.
That's your job.
But see, the problem with this is Denver is almost really forcing that Russell Westbrook relationship to work with his team, and I credit him for it because he does some good things for him. But sometimes he hit him in a spot where it hurts. Like they don't have the personnel for Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook can't be the fastest on the team, and he that age. Like. Nobody wants to play at the speed of Russell Westbrook on that team. Like nobody does. So it's they
optimize it. They just the difference is they can't.
Christian Brown be getting up and down.
Yeah, they run.
They never run.
No, hold on, but Jordan, the whole team runs. Everyone runs. The issue is they can't get fast break opportunities because what also OKC
they don't run like Russ though.
They basically got this point now though where OKC's transition defense is mostly great. Jamal and Brown have been great in transition, but like Russ hasn't. Russ is not making those layups.
That layup, boy, goddamn, bro, Swiper. His fingers gotta all be going the wrong way. That's what it looked like when he shoot layups or when he handling the ball. I think that's why he got.
No, I think he's just doing a Ron. Ron it's the moment.
No, I think something wrong with his fingers.
Russ has had a lot of Russ has had a lot of hand injuries in his career.
Yeah, and it looked like it. If you look at the way he dribbled,
Now we're talking like hand injuries for a layup.
bro.
No, I'm not. He's never had the greatest touch. Like he's never had that. Even like Pete Russ wasn't the greatest finisher.
Now you know what we need to do. Talk about Mars. Pack your casual takes up. How many guards have better Lego packages than Jamal? Do you see that the Jordan over chat yesterday? That boy said,
he don't even do that many layups though. Jamal Murray don't even do that many layups, bro. Bro, you know what I do like about Jamal?
What's that going to do with me? Why he say my name?
You know what I do like about Jamal Murray though? And a lot of players should look at Jamal gets a lot of lift on his shots, bro. Like a lot of lift.
He does, Jordan.
Like, I like that about. Like that's to me, that's the old school style of playing. Like I can tell he was taught by his dad. Like getting that lift on your shot, that's his daddy. That's his dad saying, "Hey, get up, get up, get it up. Get some, hey, use your legs, use your legs." I can see that.
Is Jamal Murray
Jalen Brunson too?
No, hold on. This chill. This is what I mean about Jamal. I want to be clear about this. Pre-ACL, there was maybe not a guard outside of Russell Westbrook. Because this is 2021. Russell Westbrook. John Wall, but he wasn't really doing anything at this point in time in his career. In terms of dunk packages, Jamal Murray used to have one of the best dunk highlights in the league. But I think the ACL changed his game up. He used to yam on people, chill. His layup packages too. I'm talking about like both hands, like coming underneath. Like he used to be crazy.
Why does Jamal look smaller than what he is, though?
Bro, he's 6'4.5", bro. I'm telling you, Jordan, people don't realize how big he is, bro.
Like he just looks small on the court. You like, bro, he looks small as hell, but
that's because he's running around with a bunch of other 6'9" and 6'10" dudes.
I don't know why. Yeah, but I don't know why. Like he's he looked like he's 6'2", but like he damn near 6'5".
But when you stand next to him, well, you know him and SGA basically looking each other eye to eye.
Yeah.
Like, SGA got taller, bro. I'm telling you, I remember when SGA was a rookie. Like we was standing like face to face together. Like, but now he's so much taller now. Like,
and Jordan, and this is legit. Like Jamal's not SGA, but I think how much does it matter though that like you have another over the top shot making guard who can virtually go band for band in high leverage moments. And I think that matters. I think that matters a lot.
Oh, it's the most important thing on the playoffs. Like Jamal, I said this the other day, and some people did. Bro, Jamal has the ability to be the best playoff player we've seen in history. Sometimes, like you, like, all right, Jamal,
he's got that kind of game
going on you, boy.
He does.
He
have
get
that
40
kind of game
on,
where he
bro.
going.
It started, I think, in 2019 is when it started for Jamal. Maybe was it 2019?
The 2019 playoffs, yeah.
That's when it was like he did it one year. You're like, oh shit, Jamal Murray was hot. Then 2020, then 2021. Or was he there 2021?
No, he got hurt that year, and then 23 was the next year.
Yeah, and it's like, oh shit, he back. And now I'm telling you, like, bro, Jamal Murray can easily be one of the best playoff performers. Like when it's all said and done, I know one playoff player I'm gonna remember, and I'm gonna mention when it comes down to playoff greats. It's Jamal Murray gonna be in one of them. He give you ups. I mean, he give you downs, highs and lows, but his highs is high as hell. Like for Game 7, I don't know what Oklahoma City thinking, but I know Jamal Murray got to say so. You might be looking at a historic performance from him.
Well, Jamal had 35 last year. He didn't play well in this last one. They didn't need him to. It was a blowout. Jamal had a 40-piece in the bubble. But yeah, I mean, look, we're hopefully because we go every other game with Jamal in Game 7s. Hopefully this is going to be the swing all the way back to damn, like Jamal got us, 36 points, 29 points on like 15 to 20 or something like that. Didn't go to the free throw line a lot, just made shots, like something. I think so.
That ethical 40.
Yeah, ethical 40. Because Jamal doesn't go to the free throw line. That's something he doesn't do. He does not go to the free throw line. But Mars, I'm telling you, man, I want to give credit because we laughed up here, and I know y'all feel like I overrate Jamal. Because I told you, we had this conversation about he's not a top 20 guard, but chill. To me, it matters. Moments matter, and versus this defense,
I always bring that up.
Versus this defense, for him to be able to get to this level, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yes, 100% moments matter. I always bring that up when I'm talking about players being great. Like, what are the moments that you remember from these guys? I remember talking about James. I remember talking about James in 2020. And we're talking about moments defensively. I mean, can we make an argument in 2020 that Jamal Murray was probably your best offensive player when James slowed him down? No.
Well, I would say, but remember now, Jamal, to his credit, was incredible that series versus the Lakers. Like he was awesome. He was going at Caruso and KCP and them like a madman. Yeah,
band for band. Yes, 100%. And that's a moment that I'm talking about. Yeah. So when I think about Jamal Murray's moments, I think about when he was playing. When they played against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, when he was averaging 32, those moments where he just made it almost impossible for they had nothing for him. That two-man game was working as well as it was working, not just because Joko, his ability to set screens, but because Jamal Murray, his ability to knock down open shots, which puts so much more pressure on their defense at that point, right? So it wasn't just Jamal Murray being a tough shot maker. He was also being able to get downhill and make simple shots too. So I think that Jamal Murray, if I could get a little bit more consistent,
that's the issue.
If I could get a little bit more consistency from him, I think we'd be talking about him different. And Mars and I had this conversation where if your shot diet is predicated largely on tough shots, it could be tough. But I do think that Jamal Murray creates a lot of good looks for himself as well. And if he could be more consistent in those good looks, I think we'd be having a different.
Bro, I've seen him skate by Caruso and Dort a few times in this series. I'm just like,
yes.
But also, I remember LeBron was just talking about this about like how some players like taking contested twos.
Yes.
Like Jamal's one of them. Like you think it's a tough shot for him, that's a routine shot for him. Like, like he likes to get to a spot because he used so much lift. So people that jump high on their shots, they like different angles to get their shot off. So he's okay with taking some of them shots that people think are tough. To him, that's a normal shot for him. A tough shot for him might be a wide open shot for him. Like. Then you got to overthink that shit. You know, he might want to do some other stuff, but some guys are just like that. I'm telling you, it's kind of hard. It's very hard to like describe it, but I know it because I'm back me playing. Like I play in the mid-range a lot. Like I like mid-range shots. Like I like to get into a little mid-range fade. People think that's a tough shot, but I'm like, not really. I don't even really because I don't even see you. I'm looking at the goal. I'm just trying to get my shot off. Jamal Murray is the same way, bro. Like,
the reason why I'm smiling, Jordan, because I call it over-the-shoulder syndrome. It's a guy when he's so wide open all the time, so used to looking over his shoulder. That's how he gets shots off, and that's how he's able to score. And when he's wide open and now he's looking over his shoulder and ain't nobody there, it kind of screws him up a little bit. It screws up his shot. So I feel like Jamal Murray is one of those players who, sure, his shot diet consists of a lot of tough shots, but he's also really good getting wide open shots too. But he's better when he's making tough shots, if that makes sense.
And no, it does make sense. And always, like when I'm training players, and I realize like some people that's like that like to get in the mid-range and, shoot contested shots. When I'm training players, like I always tell them, like for the guys that can't shoot, when we shooting threes, I always tell them shoot it faster. Like the reason why I'm telling you shoot it fast, because the more you think about it, the more you like overthink what you should do, and it's more margin of error. Like I tell people that like it's a wrist trick, and I'm giving out some of my tricks for some of y'all that can't shoot. I always tell people, make your wrist go like this, quick every time, and stick it. Some people like to shoot like this, and it's like the slower you do this, the more your wrist can do that. Just do it fast.
When it's
quick, you can't. So it's like now when you get that down, you get that motion down. Get in the game, it got to be swing, catch, shoot. Don't even overthink.
What's muscle memory at that point?
At that point. But I always tell people that all the time. Like, and I don't know what it is about the game, but some people just can't. Let me see
that, Jordan. Let me see that. Shoot it like what, Jordan?
You got the wrong mic.
You got to get that wrist
down.
down.
You got to connect your mic, Ox.
Yeah, you got the wrong mic, Ox.
Ox got his headphones, but
hey,
Ox, you got to get that wrist down right there,
the shooter's pocket with the air underneath. No,
that shit is overrated, but that's overrated.
Let me see Swiper.
Go ahead, Jordan.
I'll take Jordan.
The air pocket.
I'm talking to you, Swiper. Let me see that thing.
It's the air pocket, my bro. Air pocket, my dog.
Get that wrist down, man. You don't need all that shit, man. Everybody, bro. I tell people this all the time. There's really not a right or wrong answer when it comes down to shooting. Like there are so many different forms. The right or wrong answer comes from your follow through, bro. Like as long as you got a nice follow through, you can shoot that shit any way you want to. Everybody don't shoot the same. Like you just make sure you do this. Make sure that follow through is straight through. Now, however you want to get to it, it's too up to you.
You got that Sean Marion a little bit in this game. Not bad. Not front. It's not all the way up here. But it's
he doesn't. He doesn't.
Shit, not chill with that face hit on me. Hell no.
What?
Ox
got that Rashard Lewis.
Ox do got a Rashard Lewis cattle post shot.
Yeah,
It's
and
more
it's
like-
wet, and it's wet.
That shit go in. As long as it
It's
go
wet
in.
too.
it's more like Larry Bird with Ox. It's up
Thank
there. It's
you,
right behind
T. I
the
shoot
head.
like
It's
I
like a
shoot like
big-
Larry. I
He
shoot like Larry
Shoot like a
Bird.
big,
Yeah.
I shoot just
More
like a
like-
big man.
more
I
like
shoot
Bird,
like
but it's
somebody
tag,
told him
though.
keep the ball high. That's how I
Oh,
shoot. Keep
man.
the ball high, big man.
Yeah.
So-
Nah, because I'm with you, Jordan, on that. Like I'll never try to fix nobody's shot like that. It's just make sure you shoot it high and follow. Shoot
Just
it
follow
high.
through. It's
Snap
all
your
in the
wrist.
follow through. Now it's some nuances to it, like keeping your elbow straight. Another trick is keep your elbow lined up with your hips, but at the same time, however you want to do it. Some people, and I don't like people shoot with two hands. You're not supposed to shoot with two hands, but however you want to do it, get that follow through. Make sure you follow through like it's a game winner, and you're good. That's the advice.
We've had some unsung heroes in this series, right? We've had some, like Strother, for example.
Ain't no
Yeah.
unsung. We praised his name.
Shit,
Did we
no,
really?
swipe.
Did
No,
we
we
really?
did. We just did.
Did we really?
No, but
No,
you
we're-
said
okay,
he
we're-
unsung though.
Hey,
Mhm.
Jordan, you gonna do this game 3 Clipper series? What? Literally at this point, 3.5 weeks ago. Trope still today.
Yep. Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, hold on.
Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I?
Is he going to? Don't tell me he's going to get the glaze sauce.
Yes, he's gonna. No, he's gonna get the ball.
Oh,
Days without Jordan a pen, instigating conflict with Swiper 7.
That's
Whatever.
there's no way he had that prep.
He's
There's no way.
100%.
That is
There it is, right
crazy.
there. 100%.
Whatever. Hey,
What I'm saying,
just
what I'm
saying,
saying,
what the hell?
what I'm
Zero.
saying is that
He drew a tomato. Okay.
what
I
I'm saying,
messed up.
guys, is we've
I
had
messed it up,
some.
Swiper.
We've
You
had
did.
some we've had some unsung heroes in these playoffs, right? We've had some guys come through. We saw Luke Cornett do what he did in Game 5, right? We saw Strother just yesterday. When we get to Game 7, and the example that I brought up, and you can appreciate this, I can't rely on my daughter with her part-time job to pitch in on the Bills.
Oh, okay. I didn't
The
know where
rent
this
is
was
due.
going.
The
I didn't know
rent
where
is
this was
due.
going.
Okay, I can't rely on my daughter on her part-time job working in the mall to pitch in on the Bills. Yo, the rent is due. That's my job. I got to
That can
take
go
care
a
of
bunch
that.
of different ways, chill. So
Yeah,
I gotta
I
take
do.
care of
I
that.
do know one
I
way
do.
she could pitch in on the Bills. If she maybe
what?
want a little pick with prize picks. I'm just saying. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Look,
then
look,
maybe.
look, look, look,
I don't know
look.
where you thought I was going. but-
I don't know where.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, hey.
Oh my
I'm like,
God,
hey,
Mars.
hey,
You guys,
No,
man,
you gotta
the guts.
It's
See-
too much
see
going
what-
on,
see what
man.
I
I
You
don't
guys,
know,
man,
Mars.
are in the
My
guts.
fault.
Oh,
That's my
shit.
fault.
Ooh.
That's my
Mars,
fault.
you almost gave me an anxiety attack. What's
Hey,
that?
hey,
You
hey,
guys,
hey,
minds are in the guts.
What Lil Wayne
I
said?
will-
Who?
See what I done started?
I do
you know
want
what?
to say. I do want to say this though. Chip, Mars, Jordan, what's up with your pen?
What's good?
Swipe. I do want to say, Mars, you got a hell of a point. You made a hell of a point. And with that being said, if y'all want to pitch on some Bills, y'all need to go ahead and match these picks on Prize Picks. Today on the panel, we are going with these picks. We got Jalen Brunson going more than 29.5 points. We have Karl Anthony Towns also going more than 11.5 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, we got him going more than 3.5 points. PRA, I'm sorry, in the first 5 minutes. And Peyton Pritchard, we're expecting a big game for you today with 14.5 points. All you got to do, get on Prize Picks. $5 gets you 50. Make sure you tap into that and use these picks. If you hit, show me my little percentage on Cash App. These are the picks you want to pick today. Good segue, Mars. That was nice.
Easy
That
that
was
segue
nice.
was. You guys being all judgmental and stuff. I don't know why. I thought that was a great segue, but
Well, Mars, when you bring somebody, that was just a touchy one. That was touch and go.
You're the one brought it up.
yeah, he threw the lob. I just
You're the one
I just
brought it
came
up.
down
I'm
with it, pump faked, and then finished. the
Kill
play.
got a
Yeah.
lot of chick analogies, so I didn't know where we was going with this. No. clue.
Well, Jordan, if you're worried about where you're going, right, and you want to watch some good basketball, first things first, make sure you go to the Game Time app. Okay, let me break it down to you. Game Time makes buying tickets so easy, right? Even your daughter could do it. 2 taps on your phone and boom, you're in. You want to see the view of your seats before you buy? They got you. Don't want to deal with sneaky fees? All-in pricing means no surprise. Oh, and last minute, game time's like, don't sweat it. We got tickets up until tip-off, even after the game starts, y'all. So if you want to check out any of these playoff games, make sure you go to Game Time app. Use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. And terms do apply. If there's a Nimrod like Ron telling you don't pay attention to the terms, don't listen. Make sure you read the fine print, y'all. Game Time app got your back, y'all. You want to watch a game up close and personal? Make sure you download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. You heard it here first, y'all. Make sure you check out the Game Time app. You know, and even if your prize pick hits don't hit, you'll enjoy the game.
That was a great transition.
We're good.
It didn't start out like that.
Thanks a lot, Ben. I mean,
It started out
It
amazingly.
did
What
not
we
start
talking
out
about?
like that. Let's
Yeah, $100 super
It
chat, by
started
the way,
out
Mars.
great.
It did
Yeah, I
not
know.
start out like
It started
that.
out great, but we do have super chats. One of which is $100 from our main super chatter Arch. He said LMAO Swiper is goated. So Swiper
Shout out
donating $100.
Embiid, Bam Adebayo, Tobias Harris. That's where I've gotten it with her down to at this point.
Okay. Shout out to Arch for the another $100 super chat.
But just for context, Mars. So if you're making $45 to $60 million a year, and I think that's like $700,000 a game, if I remember correctly. So take off taxes.
For Embiid, that's probably like $2 million a game, just based on games played. But
Consider it.
Respect. I'm not doing that. That's nasty. $700,000 a game, and then after taxes. So you're probably getting after taxes if you have a good lawyer or like a good tax person, state, federal agents. You're probably getting from that like 320. Like 320 is like a safe amount.
Bam, there's no state tax in Florida, so Bam probably making.
Well, again, I'm saying really
half your money's gone.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
Who
It's
that?
gone. You got to do
No
taxes.
Well, Bam
you
lives
got to
in
do taxes.
Uh-uh.
Go ahead.
So Bam lives in the state of Florida, which they have no state tax. So that's $700,000 a game. He's probably bringing home about maybe $450,000 of that.
Well, no. Oh yeah, that. But remember,
Building
Tim, it's agents plus whatever marketing team you have, social media, boom, boom, boom. I'm saying, and after taxes, you're probably seeing 320 Mars. So I'm saying just for safety. I'm saying if you're being really bit like you're putting all your money on the table saying, hey, IRS, this is how much I'm making. 320, 350, 370. I'm saying to be safe. So that means every week Arch comes in here. Jordan, we can't hear you. Every week Arch comes in here and he's literally like candy money. Like this $100 is supposed to go to Starbucks. Like I'm just dropping it all. Arch could legit, matter of fact, if Arch is who I think he is, Arch should come through with a $500 super chat just because it's Friday and say
hold on, Swiper.
$500 super chat.
Hold on. If Arch is who I think he is, he will Zelle me at drinksmansports.com.
All right, buddy. Okay.
Wow.
There's no way
Jordan. At this point, Jordan, you might as well Jordan. At this point, you might as well kick your, just take your kicks off and show your toes, brother. Gee whiz.
Hey, link him back.
He is who I think he is. I'm just saying.
If that's what you into, hey, let me know.
Look, first things first, yo. Arch probably ain't no hooper, but I just wanted to tell y'all this, man. If you shoot for the stars, if you aim to make a lot of money, it's easier than making average money. You know what I'm saying? There's less competition up there. It's less competition to try to make, let's say 500,000 than it is to make 50,000. Most people are trying to make 50,000. You try to make 500,000. There's less competition up there, y'all. Shoot for the stars. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one because I got one before we move on to the next topic, and I forgot to tweet it this morning, so I'll make sure I get it out there. But
I'm about to tweet it first.
If you worry about the lack or lack of, there's no possible way that you can get more. You are always worried about what you lack and what. You know what you the lack of. There's no possible way you can always get more. Be grateful for what you already have and build off of that. Stop thinking about what you don't have. Pretty much summarize.
If you worry about the lack of, there is no possible way you can get more.
Yes, just be grateful for what you have and build off of that.
So
perfect advice.
This is really smart. What Jordan just said. The affirmation of I don't have or I need is an affirmation that you don't have.
That's a fact.
Right?
That's a fact.
So if you always like, I want more money. No, it's not going to work that way. Everybody
be grateful
wants
what you
more money.
have.
Everybody wants more money. You must feel wealthy.
So
Really, you just gotta focus, lock in, and
Whatever
focus.
you
that-
identify is how you is your reason.
Are you so when you at me and come at me on Twitter, Pin? Is that like I will be at Swiper's level on Twitter, like, or is it like
no one's
like
trying to be on your
I'm
level on
lacking? Let
Twitter.
me. How does that work?
Your level of what? Your level of trolling, your level of delusion, your level of fandom, your level
He got
of
many personalities.
fangirling.
Yeah,
your
Pen, I
level of-
waited for you. Do you want to read your own super chat?
Oh yeah, W unplayable nuggets, W Calvin Booth, and W Julian Strada, bro.
Talk that talk,
Dog-headed
man.
pig.
Talk
Hey,
that
get your
talk,
boy-
man.
And then Arch
Get that
agreed with
bullshit
you.
ass
Arch
board out.
agreed with you, Pen. He said red W from Pen. He agreed with you.
There you
So
go.
You got Arch on
Yeah.
side.
Hey, yo, Pin, it's just really good to see unplayable players play playable basketball.
Negative one is crazy.
We got a double banger, a rare day where both Pin and Jordan
This
are
shit ain't
active.
over with. This shit ain't over with. 'Cause I can't.
Swiper, is there anything you want to say about Calvin Booth and Julian Strother?
Yes, I
And the
do
drafted-
actually.
the
I
drafted
do
players?
actually. I do need to say something.
You better drop an apology.
You want the big
to
screen
Mr.
Swiper?
Calvin
I can
Booth.
give you-
I want
all the bullshit
Pin.
you
I want
talked about
Pin.
Calvin
I want
Booth
Pin to be
and
up here
all
to
you
see
role
me.
players. I want you to write an apology.
Oh,
on
you
that
want
whiteboard.
you want.
No, I don't want a solo. I don't need the solo. Please, there's no need for.
Were we
Yeah.
before Swiper goes into Swiper? Were we misconstruing you saying what you said? Was it just a stretch?
Don't throw him no
Which
bail.
game?
No bail.
I'm not
Okay.
throwing him any bail. I just want to
Chill. He would
that's all I'm doing.
never do this for you. Chill. He
No,
would
oh,
go for your jugular.
Okay, exactly.
Let's
I'm
Swiper
absolutely
let's
defending
Swiper
chill up here.
defend
If we're gonna
himself.
and again, if we throwing Swiper in the pen for the rest of his days, I want to make sure that we're doing it the correct way. That's why I'm doing it.
23-1.
So with that being said, Swiper, were you saying this during that time because that's the way that they were playing, or do you genuinely believe that you got guys on your
What
crew?
things?
So the things that you were saying,
he's
the
a
fact-
liar. Yeah.
the fact that these guys are unplayable, the fact
In game
that
3, yes.
okay, so
Christian
this is what
Brown
I'm
is
saying.
unplayable.
Yes,
In
Christian
game
Brown
3,
is- when
in game
I was
3, they had two
when I was
players. Yes.
when I was talking to you throughout the course of the season about how much I
I
love.
don't understand what the question is about it. They had
Okay,
they had two players
Swiper,
that
I'm
played well
trying to
that
make a point here. When
Yeah.
I was talking to you all year about how much I loved Christian Brown, how improved I thought he was, you shook your head at me about that.
No,
You
I
didn't
didn't. I
think
said
that
he was very
100%
improved.
100%.
I said I would have him as
not
my
the
argument
shooter
most
that I
improved
think
player
he
in the
is.
league. No, chill. That's not what I said. I said I would argue have him as the most improved player in the league.
I thought
Most
he was the
improved
most
player is
improved.
unplayable. Damn.
Yeah, and you can be in a
League is-
game. That can happen. Yes. So yes, I think for the up team time, I want to say something to Penn, my brother, my Serbian brother, the filmologist who Penn. I will definitely be calling you in the summer because Penn. I don't know if you know this. This is legit, by the way. This is no troll. I have a list of about 20 movies and or shows that I have not seen or watched that I'm locking in for the summer to do content on, and I cannot.
All chick flicks. All chick.
No. Some of these are animes. Some of these are shows. I don't really chick. What's wrong with chick flicks anyway, Ox? You like the Notebook?
Chicks.
We had
I
a whole
love
conversation
chicks.
about the
I love
Notebook
chicks.
not too long ago.
My bad.
I got a bunch of stuff, Penn, so I will be reaching out to you about some content stuff about film. I love film. I love film just as much as I love basketball. Just for context. But Penn, I will say this about Calvin Booth. Do I feel bad for my criticism about Calvin Booth last offseason for bringing 6 rookie contracts into the season? Do I feel bad about the fact that Calvin Booth was having dissension and discord between the front office because no one else had any insight on what Calvin Booth was doing outside of Calvin Booth in the front office? Do I have any apologies for Calvin Booth when Michael Malone and Calvin Booth had the testiest relationship that I've ever seen of anyone within the Nuggets org ever?
Mhm.
They weren't speaking to each other for months at a time. Do
And
I
we
have
know
any
this.
apologies for the fact that I thought I disagree with this plan? 100%, absolutely not. And the reason is you finally got a great game for a late first round pick who's the 29th pick overall. And again, to my point, if they had consistent bench play, as I've said all year, chill, tell me if I'm wrong. If they had consistent bench play all season, chill, would they be even better than what they are now?
They would be
Consistent
even better.
bench play.
Yeah,
Right. And they played Julian Strother all year. They played Peyton Watson all year.
Man.
They played Jalen Pickett for most of the year. And they played Zeke Naji for most of the year. All those players.
Zeke played himself out of the lineup. Let's be clear about that. Zeke,
But
played,
Julian
Zeke 100%
also
played him out of the lineup.
had injuries and also came to the playoff. Penn, would you disagree? Was he the worst defensive player in the Nuggets rotation in the regular season?
Define regular rotation.
No, regular season. The worst rotation player. Well, he was. Objectively, he was. And I think they have had to figure out how to solve a lot of the issues they had. And defensively, he showed up. He actually competed yesterday and the game before, but also they're playing zone. But he made his shots too. If the Nuggets have players that are making their shots, then yeah, you can play, you can roll, you can rock. But they weren't going to get time over Russell Westbrook in the first round. And they had to figure out which one of those guys could show up. Because remember, this is the third time Julian's gotten real minutes in this series. And in the first two, he didn't really do much. So he finally got the opportunity on wide open jumpers. And the next thing you know, the Nuggets win by 12. So, Penn, I'm arguing if the Nuggets had a six, like for instance, this is the other criticism. Dario Saric, the sixth highest paid player on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
If he was an NBA player, I think they'll be winning the series.
I have no idea why they even signed Dario Saric.
I agree with you. And guess what? Everybody else in the front office, no one else had input on that decision but Calvin Booth, and I know that. Now, Zeke Naji, they resigned Zeke Naji because Calvin Booth wanted to have an intermediate contract. They could move. Zeke Naji hadn't played at all. He's legitimately not a rotation player for them. Their fifth and sixth highest paid players are not seeing the court. And I think that's functionally hurting them because the Nuggets starters, I think they've had the best starting unit in basketball in the playoffs, relative to the competition especially. But what happens when they start subbing people in? All of a sudden, the ship starts falling apart, except when Julian starts to start making shots. So, no, I think my criticisms were more than fair, and I think there's still truth to this day. But I think Julian stepped in and had a good game, and that changed the tide of the game. What they needed that, though. You need more than 5 players to play.
Look, I've seen
I
a
think
lot of
we literally had a conversation. We literally had a conversation yesterday about Julian Strawther playing in these playoffs, and the conversation was real testy because considering where we were in this series, we were late. We're late in this series, game 5, game 6, game 7, and we're trying to rely on a bench that, to your point, Swiper, has been depleted, only to find out that Julian Strawther gave you a game. This is the same Julian Strawther that throughout the course of this year you were very low on. You were very low on Julian Strawther. You were very low on Zeke on Zeke Naji. You were very low on. There was a time when you were low on Russell Westbrook. There was a time when you were low on.
Yeah, he earned himself that. Yeah.
Yes, and then he actually got himself back into the rotation, and he started playing even better. Where there was a time where the question was being asked, should Russ be starting? So now it's. I feel like, is it new information that we have from you now, or is it just you were wrong about this crew?
No,
he didn't start low on Julian. Remember, Ron was the one telling him to stop bringing up Julian Strawther.
That's also part of the conversation. They did
sure.
Julian also got hurt though in the regular season.
Yeah, he did.
Look, man, there's
he
an
was
element.
providing the offensive
spark. You're right.
Like,
You're right. I did.
People expected. Defensively, he's been horrible like the whole time. But offensively, like he did provide that spark. He just missed like
him and Russ. They got beat on the second unit almost every game, but the same. They ran a split. Whoever the opposite team was, they were in a split action, and they would mess it up almost every single time. And Julian was just getting hunted by everybody. And I thought this would be a horrible series for him. But again, they're playing so well behind Julian defensively that it's just not mattering. Like even if he gets beat, they're showing hands at SGA.
Swipe, it's crazy that I got more faith in your team.
No, you don't, because I said they were beating OKC.
So did I.
Well, yeah, I know why though.
Ox said it in 6, so he had more.
Could you think Jokic is the best player in the world? I know.
Well, I don't, but I think he's good enough to beat this team.
He thinks
my thing, Swipe. I just really think y'all have a really good basketball team. I really do. I think the other guys are actually really good at basketball. Like I think Jamal. It's funny to do the Lester thing and all that, but like Jamal is a hooper, bro. Like, and the thing about it is, for me, like even if I don't put him in the top 15 or top 20, that doesn't matter. Like in the NBA, there's like 300 amazing basketball players. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't got to be top 20 or top 25 to have an impact on winning. These dudes, like I think they're scrappy. You know what I'm saying? I think especially guys like Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon. I think those dudes are like really, really scrappy. They're winning basketball players. I think being a winning basketball player is more important than how do you look in drills or what is, you know what I'm saying? Or like what is your when you go to combines, like what is all that combine shit? It don't matter. It's all about, especially in the playoffs, like how tenacious are you? Are you going to play to the buzzer? Yeah. Aaron Gordon, as we've seen, plays to the buzzer. You know what I'm saying? So I think, and I'm not even trying to turn this into no like, oh, gotcha, like Cook Swiper type thing. Nah, I'm just saying, like, I really think that you kind of undersold a lot of your
So you're
guys'
saying
role
I should have
players.
had. You feel like I should have had a different outlook on the team relative, like even outside of how they performed through the 82. Like there was going to be a rise in there. Like expect a rise in there somewhere.
Well, you did that.
I think so. I
Spike,
think so.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
look.
Yeah, I just to answer your question, I'll swipe it like I do think so. Like, and once again, I'm not trying to turn this into nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, I do think that you should have had them rising in the playoffs because, like to Jordan's point, like there is such thing as championship DNA, and I think a lot of these dudes on the Denver Nuggets have that. Like, I think I have a winning basketball.
No, see, but this is what I'm saying. Smoke Riggs, Rich Biggs. He said, yeah, it's what did he say? Yeah, swipe, especially if Jokic is the player you always say he is. What does that have to this is what I'm saying. This is the disconnect between I always said Jokic was the best, but I also knew that the roster had underperformed all year and the defense wasn't where it needed to be. The play versus Harden and Kawhi.
Well, those two things aren't the same thing, though, Swiper. If the roster had underperformed as opposed to unplayable players, those two things are not the same thing.
But they were So
these guys like guys like Aaron Gordon.
What I think, Chill, though,
who's on the championship team. Christian Brown got better. Wait a minute, Christian Brown, who had gotten better over the course of this.
No, but Chill, I agree with that. But what I don't like is that what y'all have done is my one thing I said about Game 3 that has become the embodiment of what you think I believe about this team overall, which is just simply not true. Now,
I mean, you do it when they lose, though. You do it when they lose.
I think Game 3 was a testament to fatigue. I think they were labored, and I think over the course they had Jokic and Murray, the only two players that actually showed up and played well that game. And I think Aaron Gordon, remember, he missed dunks in that game. He didn't have any lift on his shot. I think the calf injury got to him in that moment. But again, outside of that, they've all have competed and done their job, even in Game 2 this year. I just think they missed shots. They got down 33-13 and the game was over. But outside of that, the Nuggets haven't been blown out. They got blown out.
But in Game 5 of this series, when the Nuggets lose, you are very quick to talk about like their role players or players not showing up and help. Yes, it is.
No, because I blame.
Yes, it is. You do that all the time.
He does blame Joker.
I blame Joker for Game 5. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm talking about the Thunder versus them and the Thunder. You didn't blame Jokic. You blame Calvin Booth.
No, I didn't. No, this is what I'm saying, Jordan. You're not even
swiping. You literally got a tweet that says the Oklahoma City Thunder are winning because of Sam Presti.
Yeah, the construction of the roster. But I also said multiple times,
that's the bullshit.
If Jokic was better in Game 4 and 5, they would have won those games, or Game 5 at least. They would have won that game. That was the first thing that I said. All of these things are true. Like everything can be true, but also if you're the best player in the world, you're held to an expectation that nobody else is. And we had this whole conversation, Chill. If Jokic plays better, if he's himself, they're out of the series in 6. He didn't do that, so they lose that game. I mean, it really came down to that in that game. So I've done all of it.
Really, You talked about how the bench and the roster construction.
Oh my gosh!
But you just did early when you started talking about him bringing all these rookie contracts and stuff into the playoffs.
Yes, I think that was a problem I talked about since last summer, though.
Do that. Yes, but you can't do that when they lose. These guys have
I'm going to maintain what I believe, though. Like that still is going to be.
When they win, it's
because Jordan, they're winning despite all of the issues they do have. That is still true. I literally said they weren't a prime time.
If they go into Game 7,
I literally said before the playoffs they have multiple issues to the roster, which they still do.
Swiper, what do you think about this group? This group right here, Swiper.
Man, because
that's what I was about to ask you, Swiper. So with this group that you have right now, Swiper, going into Game 7,
12th time, bro. I'm not.
No, that's what I'm asking you. So with this group that you have currently right now, how do you like them as opposed to your group that you had in 23? This group going into Game 7.
This team isn't as good. Across, like they're just not. They had multiple ball handlers, multiple slashers, multiple shooters, and the defense was way better in 20. And they didn't have to work as hard. Their defense was elite naturally. They had the personnel to be. But hold on, Jordan. They've had to work extremely hard to get to this point. And again, their ceiling was much higher in the regular season, and in part because they were built so well that you couldn't stress Jokic and Murray to the same degree you can do now. Which I think is to the function of the fact that even when they did struggle, they had to remember Jokic and Murray in Game 3 in the finals had the 30-point triple-double game.
Makes that much of a difference.
Hold on.
Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, yes, they all make a difference because 3 of those players aren't on the roster anymore, and they're all veterans. They're all between the age of 25 at that time to 32 and Jeff Green. So yes, they had reliable veterans on the roster
But this
to
is the
facilitate.
interesting thing, though.
KCP had in game 2 versus the Suns when Murray was struggling, and Jokic was the only player that was playing well through 3 quarters. KCP had 21 points. Like he was the one carrying him through that, and he had 21 points in the first half versus the Suns in game 6 when they put him up 30.
And I just saw Christian. I'm really quickly, Jordan, and I just saw Christian Brown go for 23 yesterday.
Yeah,
I agree with you, but this is what I'm telling you.
And what I'm saying,
you're asking me what makes
I,
the difference. Those 3, Christian Brown was on the roster there.
And
what I'm saying is they're down 3. They're down 3 of those players. The 3 players that helped them win the ring, they're not on the roster anymore. The question, no, Jordan. The question he asked me was the 23 team better or the 25 team? I think the 23 team was better. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine. I don't have no bark back on that. My thing is when you talk about this roster and the issues that they are having, Swiper, they are 1 game away from advancing to the Western Conference Finals with the issues that you think their roster is having against a team you said is one of the best teams in NBA history.
Well, they are
top 5.
Okay. Okay. So fine and dandy. So with the issues that they are having, what is this set up for Jokic to be impressive?
What?
Like what is this setup?
There is no setup. I picked them to win the series.
Okay, but Swiper, if they're going to advance to the conference finals and possibly they have a chance to advance to the finals, what are you setting up? Like this is a good team. It has to be. If you keep talking about they got issues, every team
they do have issues in the roster.
Every team has issues on their roster.
Okay, but they have. This is what I guess what I'm trying to understand. OKC is a better basketball team than Denver. Are they not?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
No, why? Why are they a better basketball team than Denver?
Why? Because on paper they have some of the stuff that they can handle the ball. They can do all that.
I think the disconnect here. Keep going, Jordan. Keep going, Jordan.
Okay, P, and you can say they deeper. But if my core is outplaying your core into a magnitude where I can beat you, you're not better than us.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's
yes, but wait. But out of the top 5 players in that series, 3, maybe 4 of them are on Denver. That's what I'm saying. Like Jamal Murray. No, this whole time.
Jokic,
first of all, Swipe, I want to make sure I make this very clear. I've never been really high on Chet and J-Dub. I think they're really, really good basketball players. Don't get me wrong. But I do, and I've been saying this all season. These young fellas are really hyped. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray are better than all them dudes except for Shai.
I think the disconnect here, Swiper. I think that
I never at any point thought OKC wasn't better than Denver. Like I haven't heard that all year. By the way, I haven't heard that all season. Like I've never heard not one person.
And nobody has said that. What I think the disconnect here is all season you've undersold this team. You've told us that this team has not been as good as this team really is.
They
were
a
good basketball team,
and that's because Swiper is scared. Chill. That's because Swiper is scared. Swiper, you're scared, and you don't want to stand on your nuts.
Is it possible Swiper just doesn't think the Nuggets are as good as you guys think they are? Is that
Mars? We don't got time for that right now, Mars. We're cooking here.
My thing is why though, Mars.
It's reasons why. No, Mars. It's Friday. No, it's Friday, Mars. If he dies, he dies. Mars, it's Friday.
The team is less flawed. There's a super
but Mars, they're starting 5.
There's a super chat from MP13 that I think is relevant, and I think you agree with it, Swiper. MP13 said, if you win, the glaring issues magically disappears doesn't make sense. You can win and still have fundamental issues. Both are true. I think that's what Swipe is saying.
So why does it matter though? But my thing is, it doesn't matter. If I won, why does my issues matter? Like it does not matter.
If you're talking about the team, you talk about the strengths and weaknesses. If you win or lose, you talk about the strengths and weaknesses of a team. That's cool.
But I won. So why would I bring up I never seen a championship team. That championship team won, but their issues on their roster.
Okay, so what the fuck are we talking about? When you compare championship teams,
what are the issues on the Bulls team?
If I were to ask you which Warriors team was better, the 22 Warriors or the 2017 Warriors, would you say they both won, so they're both the same?
No,
I would, but I'm not comparing them. But I'm not saying that. But I'm not comparing it. If they won a championship,
winning can still be worse.
But if they win a championship, they're better than every team. They're better than teams in the league.
But we're also
perfect, right?
No, they're not perfect.
No, they're not perfect.
But pointing out the weaknesses doesn't mean that he's wrong.
But we're not talking about the weaknesses of that.
But the
team.
starters have been
about.
excellent
Talking
though.
about
Like
who was on the roster, and you guys
the whole
are talking-
conversation came down to
The whole conversation is about when you guys disagreeing with Swiper pointing out flaws that he believes are on the roster, and the explanation seems to be that the team is performing well in the playoffs. The team can
Everybody
perform
has
well in
flaws
spite
on
of
their
its flaws.
roster, though.
Yeah, the Timberwolves. If we talk about the Timberwolves flaws right now,
Sure.
the flaws don't disappear just because they're in the conference finals. They still have
No,
flaws.
they don't. They
Correct.
still got that pimple on the
But
middle of your
if
forehead.
we
Yes,
beating
100%
people,
still
my
there.
thing,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
fine.
my
The
problem
Knicks
with
have
Swiper.
flaws. The Knicks have
But
flaws.
this
You
is
can
my
talk about the
problem
Spurs,
with
even if they're in the
Swiper
conference
though.
finals.
If they're beating
oh
people,
my gosh.
if they're beating people, and he's like I said, as much as he want to not admit it, when they lose, he always gonna start talking about this person was horrible, this person was horrible, this person was that. Then they win. Oh, everybody has bad games, but then when they win, but you cannot.
Michael
but you
Porter
can't-
Jr. is averaging
hold
7
on.
points a game in this
Hold
series.
on, but you
If he
can't-
is healthy,
all
I
right,
think the series is
okay,
over.
all right, but okay, but
Like, well,
but
then
you
that
can't-
doesn't make any
if-
sense.
Okay, but what about what was that game 4? He had a hell of a game. He played well.
His only game he played well.
Did Swiper say he played?
No, he
horribly in
played
game four?
amazing.
No, this is the problem with Swiper.
What?
When
I'm right here.
No, hold
Address
on,
me.
hold on. Listen. Yes, I'm addressing you. This is the problem with you. When the Nuggets win, you own this, and I don't have
haven't
no
been like
problem
that all
with
episode.
Hold on, I don't have no problem with that. I'm not even talking about the episode. I don't have no problem with that. But when they lose, Swiper, you literally said the other day, and I went and said something to you about this tweet about the Thunder are winning because of Sam Presti built
Yes,
the bench.
I think that's the
And
difference in the
Kelvin
teams.
Booth, and it's like, bro, okay, Julian Strawther show up, Christian Brown show up.
Christian
Like,
Brown's a starter.
okay, but he's a role player. Whether you want to be a starter or role player, he's a role player. He
But that was my
played his
whole
role.
contention in the series, though.
He played.
OKC
he
is going
played
to
his
be in the
role.
series because of their bench.
Okay, that's okay, but y'all have the firepower to beat them regardless. Like, it's y'all team.
Well, they run out
Y'all
of firepower in
team works
back-to-back 4 quarters.
well. AG, Jamal Murray, Jokic.
Starter.
You have
Starter.
3. Doesn't matter, Swiper. Yo, 3
That was my whole
starters are
contention
damn
going
near.
into the series.
Yo, 3 starters, like I said, are better than the Thunder starters. So it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter then.
It
You
does
win.
matter,
You can't
because you have to go
can't
to the
win
bench.
all- Swiper, you can't win all across the board. You can't win all 5 starters and then win the 3 players coming off the bench. That's
What?
crazy.
That's why OKC would win the title if they
No,
get
it's
past
not.
this series.
That's why they in the game 7, Swiper.
To me, they're winning the
They in
title.
game-
There's
they in
no
game
one.
7 because
There's
they not
no
winning
one.
all the starters.
There's no one beating them if they get past Denver. I've said this multiple times for
I
a reason.
disagree with you, but I disagree
Who's
with you.
beating them?
He has the Timberwolves. He has the Timberwolves.
Oh,
Yo,
you got the
we
Wolves
can
beating
go
them.
I
8
got the
hours.
Timberwolves.
Y'all not gonna
But-
agree.
But
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
gonna
This
agree.
same
It's not
discussion
even
has been happening for
but
3
it's-
weeks and no progress has been made.
Okay,
but it's
y'all
not
just
even
going
about
in
this. Hold
circles
on.
and circles.
That's why I want to move on.
I've
because You guys
been
aren't
going on
saying
for
anything
10
new.
minutes.
You guys
Jordan,
aren't
give me
saying
a
anything
Hold on,
new.
we're having a conversation. It's not even that. Like,
No,
we
this,
having
this sound like
It
George
is
still
that
trying to
because I
talk.
want to get through
Y'all
the
go
super
to-
chats because
y'all
people
go to
paying money to
not
talk.
our
and you
score.
guys
Bro,
are saying the same
we
thing
are
you've been saying
on a
for 3
talk
weeks.
show having a conversation.
Yes, and
bro.
you guys have been saying the same thing
Regardless,
for 3
okay,
weeks.
okay.
So I
it's a
don't
po-
want to keep having.
Jordan,
Alright,
make your
bro.
point. Jordan,
Alright,
make your
bro.
point.
Yes,
Jordan,
bro,
Jordan,
bro.
make your point, and then we'll
Alright,
move
yes, I'm
on.
gonna
Jordan,
make
make your
the
point,
point
then we'll move on.
Sure,
Jordan,
yeah,
make your
last
point, then we'll move on.
Like, God
The-
damn.
the
Yeah,
point-
Jordan, make your
Saying
point,
the
then we'll
same
move
thing
on.
every week.
Go ahead,
the same
Jordan.
3
The
weeks.
point that I'm
So make your point,
that
Jordan,
I'm
then
trying to
we'll move on.
make is this though. Swiper wants to win every inch of the sport, and that's unrealistic. He wants to win.
That's not
starters.
how I
Our
feel.
starters. Our
That's
starters. Our starters are
how
this.
I
Oh, go to the
feel.
bench, and
That's
it's like,
not
yo,
how I
bro,
feel.
relax, bro. Let me get the point.
It's not
off
how I
because then
feel.
we
You're
all
saying
right.
you keep telling
All
me
right,
how
let
I
me
feel about
address-
something, and it's
Okay,
not how
let
I
me
feel.
address. Okay, let me address my opinion on what I
You're creating
think
a
that's how you
scenario
feel.
in your head.
Let me address my opinion on how I think that's how you
As you
feel.
were
and
saying,
you
Jordan.
respond.
As you were saying, Jordan.
Swiper wants to talk about the starters. Oh, the starters. Then when they go to the bench, bro, you have one of the best players in the world on your team, followed by a hell of a superstar. I mean, a hell of a co-star in Jamal Murray. The Thunder have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the best players in the world. Their second option isn't Jamal Murray. Okay, it's maybe J-Dub or Chet. Inconsistency. Aaron Gordon on the other end, solid as well. Been playing solid, making plays. Okay, so you have 3 guys. You win the starting lineup. You're not going to win the starting lineup and the bench. Like, it's not possible. So it evens out. It evens out. There's
That's,
role players that got to
that's
step
why
up
OKC
and
was so
make
dominant
plays.
this regular season, by the way. That's why they beat Memphis by so much. That's
No,
also
they beat
why I
Memphis
said
by so
Denver's
much
going to beat
Memphis
OKC.
is nowhere near. It's like Memphis shouldn't have been in the playoffs. To
And
be
that's
honest
the
with you.
point.
Y'all-
That's the
y'all
point.
beat
Because
us
their
in
starting
the
five
playoffs.
in their bench was better than Memphis.
Swiper, you
So-
lost the debate. Can we move on?
Right.
I'm accepting
What
that.
you got, Mars?
I'll
What you
lose.
got,
We
Mars?
have two super chats that are alluding to this debate, so I'm going to read them now so we don't have to spin back an hour later. SMN R&DM said Jordan is trying to say that Swiper thinks the Nuggets aren't that great to set up how good Jokic is. It's simple. The Nuggets are flawed. Jokic is good enough to make up for it, and OKC isn't as good as you guys think. Is that what you think the agenda is, Jordan? And Penn, because
you're pointing at.
Is that what you guys think the hidden agenda is from
Look,
Swipe?
The hidden agenda is to save his
everybody
ass for
wants
everything.
to do this thing where they want to set up like an out. Okay, if my take doesn't work, then this what happened. Okay, yesterday I said the OKC Thunder are going to beat the Denver Nuggets, and then I kind of
then you were wrong,
and I gave myself out was the refs, and your out was the refs. Yeah.
No.
I seen it on Twitter.
My out is not the refs. My out was I don't think Jokic is going to give you another dominant game. He's super tired. You're going to need a crazy role player game. You need everyone to step up. So it's like you give yourself a bit of an out. Now, obviously,
but you picked OKC to win that game.
Yes, I did.
You said, if I remember correctly, you said my predictions are 4-4. I've been on a hot streak lately.
Don't even get me started on the refs. What I'm saying is, when you say something, typically you hedge. Okay, so when you say
I picked them to win the series.
You were very critical of them firing Mike Malone. Were you not?
Yes, I didn't like it.
It has worked out really well. You have been very critical. It has worked out very well. There is nothing that the Denver Nuggets had shown me through 78 games that told me they were going to be one game away from Western Conference Finals. So the Cronkies made a move and it worked out well. So give them credit for that because you cooked them for that. And you said this is crazy.
I think firing
and you said this is Jokic's legacy. Because ultimately, look, man, Swipey, you know that when Jokic or any superstar loses in the playoffs, there's always going to be doubters and there's always going to be haters. And what you want to be able to say is, look at the bench, look at the GM, look at the coach.
I picked them to win this series, Penn.
I get it. But you also picked them to lose the last series.
I did. And they won. What's the difference? What's the issue?
Here. Okay, look, my issue. I'm not trying to have 85 issues with you because this ain't talk therapy. I have one issue with you. My issue with you is Calvin Booth. That's literally it. He is a scout. I think he got a radio. I really do. He had a really valid point in the Mike Malone, Calvin Booth situation that happened all year. I agree with Calvin Booth 100% all the way through. Okay, that's all it is. I agreed with him 100%. All the way through. You trying to be a clown right now. I'm trying to have a real I'm trying to have a real conversation with you.
He's always doing that. He always deflects. He always deflects.
Like stop trying to be a
that's not wrong with showing the board.
Art Charleston see the board.
He paid $100 for the board.
Okay, I got you.
But you know, Swiper, I don't think there's anything wrong with picking the team you think is gonna win. I don't think that being a fan, I don't think that being a fan of your team means you have to pick them against a team you think is gonna beat them.
Sure.
I don't believe that, Swipe. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you're saying that, Pin. I just want to reiterate that. I don't think there's anything wrong with picking the team that you think is going to win, regardless of where you're from, regardless of what you're a fan of. I think that being realistic is actually you know what I'm saying, something to praise. Swiper, I just don't like the inconsistencies. I don't like downplaying the team all year just to save your skin. I don't. And yes, Swiper, real quick, Swiper, real quick, please, Swiper. I do think that's what you did a couple of times, and you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think you got some political ways. I think you got some politician ways about you. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to make that very clear to you, Swiper. I don't think there's anything wrong with you picking.
Who said they were a contender going into the playoff?
Hang on.
A lot of people just you know. I just want to get that off.
You did. I remember that.
Can we before we move in for Penn? Can you get back to your point about Calvin Booth, because I wanted to know where you were going with that.
Okay, I have a bias towards scouts. I love scouts. I love Masai Ujiri. Calvin Booth is a scout. Okay, it's a mindset. It ain't just a job title. It's a mindset. There are certain people that have a scout mindset and some people that don't. Some people have a vision for what's going to happen in 5 years. Some people have a vision for what's going to happen in 5 seconds. A lot of the worst rosters in the league that you can see right now were made without vision. The Brooklyn Nets traded away Jared Allen. Why? Because they wanted to appease KD and they wanted to clear up Mr. DeAndre Jordan. Come on, man. That's no vision. You messed that up. Maybe in that moment, for a minute, Jordan was better, but Allen was better like within like a year. That's a mess up. It's very easy to screw yourself up with immediate gratification. Look at what the Phoenix Suns have done. They've capped themselves out for like the next 10 years. The Brooklyn Nets did this when they traded for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. It takes a lot of future vision. The hardest thing in basketball is to see what's going to happen and to be right.
Foresight.
Absolutely. The other hardest thing to do is to build a contender, because when you build a real contender and you win, all your pieces get overpriced. The fact that the Nuggets have been actual contenders for the last 5-6 years, number one. Number two, y'all lost Tim Connolly, who was one of the best executives in the league, because y'all didn't want to pay him. That's on your ownership. That's not on Calvin Booth. Calvin Booth was one half of a team. It was one half of the team.
You said
Tim
Calvin
Conley,
Booth didn't. You said who didn't want to pay him?
your ownership didn't want to pay him.
Calvin Booth also didn't extend a real offer. I know that for sure.
Calvin Booth's job is to pay Tim Conley.
Are you talking about Connolly or okay, Connolly? No, that would happen before Booth ever got there. Yeah, they don't pay
Booth
front
was
office.
there
people.
with Connolly. What
Yeah, I know. I thought you were talking about KCP. Yeah, they don't pay front office people. That's been a long story in Denver. They've never done
Yes,
that.
I know that, and I know that because Masai Ujiri left. I know that, but that's a bigger issue here. Y'all went.
They paid
cheap.
players though.
Y'all
Swipe, but Christian Brown's better than KCP.
fact.
At a lot of
Number
things.
one.
Not
Number
some
two.
things, but yeah.
The hardest.
No,
thing to do-
at basketball.
Well,
Christian Brown's better.
I think
Christian
sure.
Brown's better.
Sure.
One of the hardest things to do
Jordan,
in
when
basketball.
I said that, I got jumped on.
No,
one of the hardest things
he
to do in
does things
basketball-
better, but there are
Yo,
things that KCP's
Swiper.
clearly
Go ahead,
better at.
Penn,
Like, I don't-
finish.
Yeah, but
Keep
it's
going,
basketball all around.
Keep
all
going,
around
Penn. Keep
basketball.
Go ahead,
Penn.
Penn. Finish.
One
Finish.
of
I
the
want
hardest
to. I
things to
want
do
to
in
hear.
basketball is to keep a championship core together. Y'all
Sure.
always get overpriced. Everyone wants to come after your pieces. Everyone wants to disband you. There's brain drain. You know this, Swiper. You're a smart dude. You got like 85 degrees. You know that there's brain drain when your organization becomes successful. They start poaching away your executives.
Correct.
So, winning a championship and getting back to the level where y'all were at the Western Conference Finals last year and Western Conference Finals potentially this year, that's a success as an organization. A lot of teams fall off. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Look at what's happened with the Milwaukee Bucks. Y'all want to be honest? So that's the one hard thing, keeping your core together. So you lost some important pieces. The second hardest thing to do, because you're so good, your draft picks aren't very good. So now you got to do the second hard thing, which is finding actual talent at the end of the draft. I think Calvin Booth cooked, bro. I think Christian Brown and Peyton Watson are amazing.
I disagree with you, bro.
That's okay. You go find. There's an analytics firm out there that believed, and I talked to this. They believe that Christian Brown was a $24 million player this year.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
Did you say analytic firm?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they exist. So they do.
I know they exist. I think.
Yeah, they use a million formulas and basketball to determine what a player is actually worth on a contractual basis. They believe that Christian Brown was worth $24 to $26 million this year. Y'all found him in the 20s. He's in his third year.
So
That's
this
a
is
monumental
Calvin
hit.
Booth lore. I got
He's
you.
a good player.
I hear you. Yes.
Christian Brown's a
So
good player, bro.
all I'm saying is,
And if
all I'm
Sean Holmes
saying
didn't
is-
tear his Achilles, he probably.
Like, I don't have a lot of
professional
issues with
player
you.
this
Honestly,
Rashawn
my
Holmes,
biggest
Rashawn.
issue with you has
What
been
did I
honestly
say?
You said
the
Rashawn
hard
Holmes.
thing was when your general manager does not have a buy-in from the coach, and the coach thinks he's God, and he's
Oh
not
my
will-
gosh.
and he's
That-
not
you think
will- and
that's what the
he's and
situation was?
he's not willing to play these young guys. Yo, you might have different thoughts about Julian Pickett and Julian Strawther and all these things. I'm gonna tell you what. There's two types of coaches in college basketball. The ones that always go to their seniors and they don't give a shit how good the freshmen are. And then there's the one that thinks I'm gonna ride with my super talented 5-star, and by March they're gonna be better. I'm gonna ride through the mistakes. You need to go
They
with
played
the
all
mistakes.
year. They all played this whole year with Malone.
I don't agree with Malone's
did.
development strategy.
They
with
all
these young
played this
players.
whole year.
You can keep saying they all played this year. They all played this year. I don't care. I'm trying to tell you that sometimes they didn't play enough. Sometimes their leash was too short, and
That
I don't
doesn't
believe
matter.
that they had.
You're saying that
I don't
Russell
believe-
Westbrook,
and
Jalen
then now in the
Pickett
playoffs,
thing.
and I don't
But as you were saying, Mars, I know you wanted to move on, Mars. I know you wanted to move on, Mars.
We
So
have a couple
what
more
we got,
super
brother?
chats.
What we got?
We have a couple more super chats alluding the segment we just had. So
Mhm.
Medved said
choose
Swiper
this, by
has
the
a
way.
point. I know. Swiper has a point. The Nuggets are fielding an 8-player roster. They have no depth. Yoke and Jamal are playing 40+ minutes nearly every game.
They won the
So
NBA
Courtney
championship
Brown.
with 8 guys. So stop with the 8 guys shit.
But
They won
Joe,
the
why
NBA
do you
championship with 8
do
guys.
that though? Like this 8's not the same as that 8.
We just said that
It's
Christian
better.
Brown is
We're going in
better.
circles again. We're going in
Christian
circles.
Brown
Oh
is
my
better than
gosh.
KCP. We just did that. So keep
All
going,
right,
Mars.
man.
And Bruce
Okay,
Brown
Okay, but
is
then
washed, by the way.
Bruce is better
Just
than
so
this
we're
version
clear.
of Russ.
Bruce
Jeff
Brown
Green's
was one of the worst
better than the
players
version
in
of Peyton
basketball this
Watson.
year.
What?
Bruce Brown was one of the worst players in basketball this year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but we're in 2025, not 2023. SMN R&DM said Jordan is accusing Swiper of diminishing Nuggets to big up Jokic, while he's doing the opposite. He is bigging up the Nuggets players to avoid giving credit to Jokic. Are you doing that, Jordan?
I don't think Swiper's doing the opposite, bro. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. Like I've been saying about this whole time. I agree with Ox. I don't give a shit that Swiper wants to pick another team to win if he want to be realistic. My only thing is I don't believe him. It's cap. That's what I've been saying for the longest. And it's
I don't
obvious
believe
too.
you.
Like, bro, and it's obvious.
I don't believe
it's
you.
obvious because of you can tell by his reactions to certain things. Like,
Oh
it's very obvious. But if everybody else
Jordan,
want
I'm
to
gonna
seem like
invite
he
you
being
to my
smart,
wedding one day, Jordan. I'm gonna invite you to my wedding one day, Jordan.
and all of this shit.
Jordan,
and it's
if
like,
I don't
Bro,
cry
like-
if I don't cry at the altar, it has nothing to do with me not loving her. I just don't cry a lot. So if you see me say my vows, if you see me say my vows and they're not emotional enough, it is because I'm trying to deliver them eloquently. So I do not want you to get up. Hold on. When my pastor stands up and says, "Does anybody have anything to say and why these two should not be wed?" Jordan, please don't stand up and say he's not showing enough love. I've seen him cry harder for the Nuggets than he is for her.
Yo,
Please don't do that.
Swiper, real quick about that. Two things. First of all, at my wedding, if anybody stands up at that point, I'm talking about somebody's getting their ass kicked.
We boxing. We got to box.
First of all, that's what, I don't care why, what the reason is. You bet not stand up. Second of all, you know what though? I never understood people crying at the wedding because you know what I'm saying. Like you knew you were getting married, you knew you loved her this whole time and everything. So like, what are you crying for? But then I went to a wedding like in 2023, I think, and I was listening. And it was my cousin's wedding, and her vows. Oh my God, bro! I start crying. Like I swear to God, like a tear came out. I could not believe like the love she was sharing in those vows. Like, yo, it's real shit, bro. I could not believe that. But go ahead, Swiper. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. I'm just being sentimental.
And that's why you like The Notebook.
Great movie.
No, The Notebook is a dope movie, but Swiper is all about chick flick stuff. My bad, Mars. Go ahead. It's Friday, Mars. I'm sorry.
Past Lives is one of the best movies I've seen in the last 5 years. By the way, if you haven't seen it, it's a Korean movie. I think everybody should watch it.
I'm not watching no Korean movie.
What?
Past
You
Lives
heard
is
him?
amazing. Past
Yeah,
Lives is
you heard
amazing.
him.
It's nothing like The Notebook.
Culture Bandit. I agree with you, brother.
The Notebook is trash. Past Lives is
The
amazing.
Notebook is trash.
Any Rachel McAdams?
Well, I've only seen it once. So I
Mars.
like it a lot. But
Chill doesn't watch
I'll
these
watch it
things.
again.
I know why. We all know why. But go ahead, Mars.
Not true.
I don't
Go
watch that
go.
shit either.
Do yourself a favor and go watch One Fine Day with George Clooney.
Damn.
One Fine Day is one of my favorite. One of my
Clooney?
favorite.
God
One of my.
That came out. I've seen that once. It came out a long time
One of my
ago.
favorite.
like
chicks.
Sure,
1958,
with George
yes.
Clooney in that motherfucker.
Speaking of George Clooney, I'm
as you were
actually
saying,
right
Mars.
now
I'm
rewatching the Ocean's movies. I just
Hey,
watched
wait.
Ocean's 11, Ocean's
Yes.
12. I'm about to watch
That's a
Ocean's
good movie,
13
too.
tonight. So I love those movies.
Wait, hold on. Chill? Did you see Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier in theaters?
I actually did not see it when it came out in 1967. I was not
in
around.
theaters?
Y'all watch
Are
all
you
these damn-
serious, Swiper?
I was
Bro,
not
how the fuck
around
did
during
y'all-
that time.
Bro, how
But
did y'all watch
I
all
did.
these
I
damn
did see the.
movies,
I
bro?
did
That's
see. I
crazy
did
shit.
see the remake of it. I did see the remake of it when they did it with Bernie Mac, and it was pretty good. But Mars, you were trying to move on, as you were saying, Mars.
I've been
I don't know how the hell y'all watch all these movies, but go ahead.
Oh, I love them. I'm telling you, it's summer is a wrap. No, Mars.
As
Sorry,
you were
go
saying,
ahead.
Mars.
Jordan, when you live long enough, Jordan,
Mars, you let them
you'll watch more
45
movies.
minutes
You know what I'm
about
saying?
my
You
psychology
20-year-old
in my
cats out,
brain,
got enough life.
and we can't talk movies for 5 minutes. I have these non-certified, non-doctor, non-PhD clowns up here trying to tell me what I believe in my brain, and you didn't cut them off.
So I'm
once.
a very
But
good.
I'm big up in
a very
movies.
good
What?
listener. I'm a very good.
That's just how you
I can judge people.
Non-PhD clowns.
I'm a very good judge of character and
Uh,
judge
so I
of people.
apologize,
Bro. Very
Jordan.
good at that.
Jordan, we literally were like this when we met in real life. So hush, be quiet,
Yeah,
be
I'm
quiet,
very good
hush,
at that, brother.
stop. You're not very good at nothing. You're not a psychologist. You're not a chair. This ain't
I can't wait
Sopranos.
for the next PC weekend. I
Yeah, that's
really
a
miss
fact.
y'all for real. I miss
That's a
y'all for real. I
fact.
can't wait for the next PC weekend.
Only one of us has a
I'm a
PhD up here, by the way, and it's not you.
Part-time
It's not you.
psychologist.
I have a
part-time
CFA.
psychologist.
What you got?
That's why I was bringing up.
What do you got, Mars? Mars, what you got, brother?
Is
Nick
Damze
was
said
love right there.
Swiper has issues with the bench. Frenchie, Ox, and Pencil. But I thought Jokic was the GOAT, Swiper.
Yo,
Who
I
said that?
love
I don't
Jokic.
know what you're talking about.
My issue is not with Jokic. My issue is
Yeah, I don't
Jokic
know what
deserves
you're
a
talking
better fanboy.
What the fuck? See, I don't have that.
Wait. No, there
crazy.
is no better fanboy
Yes,
for
I don't have that
Jokic.
issue,
No
brother.
disrespect, Swiper.
That's crazy.
There is no better fan.
I'm from.
Fanboy,
Do you
fan.
see? Hold on. Matter of fact, since we doing this, do you see Penn clapping and twerking on the timeline for OKC at all times? At all times,
Twerking
He-
is crazy. Parker.
he is
Clapping and
going
twerking.
What? Yo,
hard.
Swiper, Penn
Going
almost
hard.
crashed the show because I factually said that Lou Dort wasn't shooting well that night. I'm talking about he went crazy. Swiper, were you here for that?
I didn't go crazy. I just said don't disrespect Lou Dort.
Oh, okay.
And then he
Because
saved,
he
and
don't
he-
understand.
and he
all
saved
because
them-
of
he
that.
saved them the
It's
next
all
game.
because
So
of Canada.
When Mars make a poll or Swiper make a poll, it like I didn't come to realization it got a lot to do with Penn. Like I'd be like, Who the fuck
Mars,
did
that true?
Swagger, you made one the other day. And I'm like,
I don't be calculating who they're about, but if I went back through all of the polls I ran on Twitter, I'd say it like I'd lean probably above 50%, or probably because of something.
For sure. I asked Mark, I'm like, Mark, who the hell
that's,
did it?
that's good
Man.
content work right there, Pin. That's
That's
content
because I
creation
made
right there,
30
Pin. You
That's
doing
the
your
scores
thing.
in
Yo,
one
Swagger,
day,
you
though.
have been
I made 3
replaced.
straight
I got
ones
the
for
real
in
most
one day.
motion on PC.
Yeah, so
I'd be like, bro, who did it?
I
Pin?
honestly,
Pin,
no.
Pin. I'm
There,
like,
there
bro,
will
all
never
good.
be another 2025 segment like last week where I didn't speak for 45 minutes and the topic was about me. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna happen the rest of this year. We don't even do players like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Go ahead, Mars.
Because I would have
Next
cooked
super
your ass. That's why. It ain't
Pimp
that big
named
of a deal. I would've
Slickback.
cooked-
This is for you, Pen. He said the Nets traded away Jarrett Allen because the Rockets wanted him in the trade for Harden so they could flip him for picks. Don't speak on what you don't know. They needed him to get the trade done. And if anyone thinks it's bad logic to trade for James Harden in February of 2021, who is still in his prime, for Jarrett Allen and Karis LeVert and picks, then they clearly are a Hall of Fame badge yapper.
Look, give
That's
me my badge.
not the full story.
I'm a
The full story is they wanted to clear up more space for DeAndre Jordan minutes, and they didn't think that Jared Allen necessarily fit in. If you knew that Jared Allen was going to be an all-star, you probably should have thought about trading something else.
And then Medved said Calvin Booth and Mike Malone both needed to go, and then Jamal Murray over shameless grifter Alexander flopping like a female dog. That is the last super
Or
chat.
B with a whole
That is
bunch
the
of-
last super chat that pertains to.
I
anything
want
to do with Mike
everyone
Malone.
to go back to that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander fourth foul and tell me where the hell the fucking foul was.
He got
man.
hit
That
him on.
was-
He
that
got
was
got
a
hit on the arm.
flop.
He clearly got hit on the arm.
That's great
He hit
timing
Joker
because
on the arm.
I saved this because I seen Pen on the time.
He hit Joker on the arm. Yes, he did.
Champ Ian Jr. said, I'm not going to say the refs, but we went into halftime with like the most fouls I've ever seen. But that doesn't excuse SJ and Caruso being the only ones able to score in the fourth unless it's a dunk. Pen, I've seen you very passionate about the refs based on last night.
Crying.
Get whatever you want to get off your chest.
Look, man, I've said it
Man.
before. It doesn't
said that.
always have to equate. Like at the end of the game, I don't want to hear nothing like, "Oh, we had almost even fouls." I care about when you got the fouls,
Yep.
how much the fouls disrupted your rhythm.
Mhm.
I will argue that the refs disrupted rhythm every time OKC got momentum. There was a bullshit call. There's another call on Shai. There's another call on Shai.
You think that fourth
And
foul
then
on
on-
Shai was a bullshit call? You think that was a bullshit call?
Chill. In the context of the game, I saw many better, like many more egregious.
Was it a foul,
fouls.
Pen? Yes or no? Was that a foul?
Yes, in a technical
So
form.
blow
it's
the
a
whistle. Foul.
Hang on, chill. We're not doing this. We're not acting like every foul gets called.
Okay.
Just like every travel doesn't
Every
get
foul
called.
should get called.
No, because the entire damn team would foul out in half a minute.
OKC would.
Stop
Yes.
fouling. Play defense with your feet, not your
OKC fouls
head.
more than anybody else in the NBA though. That's been true all year.
That particular play where Chet Holmgren is falling out and he's losing the ball, Jamal Murray fouls him on that play. But what did the refs do?
No,
they
he
call
did
hang
not.
on. They call it out of bounds on Chet because they're like it was going out of bounds anyway, and the foul didn't make a difference. So my
It wasn't a
question
foul on
is,
Jamal Murray. They both
Oh
were
my
running for the
gosh.
ball. Both of them.
But
were
SGA
running
got
for the ball.
fouls right before the half on a touch foul though. Like, so I don't understand that. So you had no energy for that one though. That was less contact than any of the other calls that were called. And SGA was grabbing people on loose balls. Like Peyton Watson and Christian Brown, he grabbed both of them. He put himself in foul trouble.
And he clearly hit Joker on the arm on that rip. He clearly hit him on the arm.
if you go back and look, I
He's an
don't
actor.
think. Okay, chill. Context
Yes, sir.
matters. I don't want refs deciding games. If you're gonna do that, you better hold it both. You better hold it both ways. You better hold that same energy both ways. Jokic got away with plenty of fouls yesterday. He's gotten away with plenty of scratches across the arm,
Mhm.
contact on the lower body, and he doesn't get called for it.
Yep.
There's plenty of times where Christian Brown is hand checking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander those drives. He's not getting called for it. So there's a lot of fouls that we're gonna let go, and that's okay as long as you let it go both ways. I don't care.
And I feel like they
That
were doing
final
that.
foul on Shai changed the damn game, chill. They had to pull him out. Nuggets going on a 12-0 run. The game is close. They come out. It completely changes Shai's minutes rotation in the second half. It hurts the Nuggets again. The Julian Strother, all that stuff that happened, happened, I believe, with Shai on the bench.
So Penn,
Or-
what it
or
sounds
Shai
to me
playing
like,
that third
fouling.
quarter.
Yeah,
Like they were
so
blatant
Penn,
fouls in front of the
that's what I
referees.
was about to say, Penn, because it sounds to me like the referee was put in a position where he had to make a call. Now, to your point, the stuff that gets missed, the same thing was going on underneath. Joker fighting with those two bulls that he dealing with both Chet and Hartenstein underneath. He doesn't get nearly as many foul calls as he should. Just like you said, Joker doesn't get nearly as many foul calls as he should. But when I got a call right in front of me at the end of the half, which I'm actually, my senses are even heightened. They're heightened even more at the end of halves because a lot of calls get missed at the end of halves or at the end of quarters. So if SGA is standing right in front of me and the best, not even the best player, any player rebounds the basketball or he gets a clean rip like what Joker had, your initial reaction is to reach for the ball. It wasn't like the referee was just looking to blow the whistle. No, SGA turned the ball over and he realized right then and there that he screwed up and he was trying to get the ball back. And in the process of him trying to get the ball back, he hit Joker on the arm. That's a foul. I got to call that. I have to call that. Now, to your point, when you want to tell me, well, if that's a foul on this end, it's got to be a foul on the other end. That's the same thing going on the other end with players like Alex Caruso. When he gets a screen and he gets bowled over by Aaron Gordon and it's going the other way. The same call is getting made.
I don't want Nikola Jokic picking up 3 fouls in a quarter any more than I want Shai picking up 3 fouls in a quarter. The game that we were treated to, the previous game, where we were seeing Jokic and Shai exchanging buckets, the game before Tatum got injured, Jalen Brunson, those games can't happen. Jalen Brunson, Jason Tatum exchanging baskets. Those games can't happen if one of those players is on the bench.
Sure.
The players are the most important thing. The refs need to fuck off and be in the background.
Which one don't want to be
blatant fouls, though? I don't want. Look,
they were blatant fouls. What do you want? He literally grabbed Peyton Watson on his arm and pulled it down.
You're talking like this because it benefited your team.
No, but I'm saying
that's all it is.
If Jokic grabs
Barbie Ballin did say you was crying like a girl about fouls.
And again, and I
did see the timeline. I did
exactly.
See the timeline.
Hey, that's a fact.
Like I said, what happened. I want to make sure you add part 2. I also said the whistle was going to change because they were going to have to start calling those interior fouls, and they did. And now it's flipped, which is what I said would happen
100%.
last week. Go ahead,
man.
Real quick, fellas. Can I interject for just 1 second, y'all? Don't please. I'm sorry. I just want to remind the people, everybody watching, all 2,600 of y'all, do not be late tonight on Playback TV. We will be on the main stage watching Game 6 of the New York Knickerbockers and the Boston Celtics. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if Jaylen Brown and Derek White and Luke Cornett and Peyton Pritchard, if those guys can force a Game 7 in where they're playing TD Garden. That's right. Y'all, don't be late to Playback TV tonight. We're on the main stage. Make sure you know.
They're Madison Square Garden tonight.
No, I'm talking about Game 7. Game 7 will be at TD though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Penn, to your point, you are 100% right. We want to watch the game, but as a referee, I don't involve myself in the game. You involve me in the game. I don't just decide to call fouls. I don't just decide to blow the whistle. I blow the whistle when you make me blow the whistle. I don't just blow the whistle just because I'm out here. I would much rather, to be honest with you, Penn, I would much rather just be out here, just be out here. I'd much rather just not be in the way. You involve me in the game. You make me call fouls. You make me call travels. You make me call violations. That's a you thing. That's not me. I'm not just blowing the whistle just because. No, I didn't just blow the whistle on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because I'm there. I blew the whistle because it was a foul. I blew the whistle on Hartenstein when he ran over. I blew the whistle on Hartenstein when he ran over, not Hartenstein, I'm sorry, on Aaron Gordon when he ran over Caruso because that's a foul. What I don't appreciate is I don't appreciate the logic that refs inserting themselves in the game, which, don't get me wrong, sometimes they do, but for the most part, that's up to you. You're inserting me in the game. You're the one involving me in the game. That's a you thing. I'm not just going to put myself in the game. I'm not going to do that. No, that's why we have the best refs in the game when the playoffs start, because they know when to blow the whistle and when to get involved and when not to.
Chill, this is not a high school game. This ain't like there's money on the line. There's millions of people watching.
Sure.
Okay. And the truth is, this is an entertainment product as much as it is a basketball game.
Sure.
That's what it is. You ain't getting that TV rights deal because you hooping. You're making that money because you're entertaining. I don't think it's entertaining to watch a star, especially a superstar, go out with 4 fouls in the third.
Stop fouling, superstar.
No.
Hang on.
If we're going to follow this line of logic, let's get to some real numbers. How many fouls does a player like Shai or Jokic have to commit to foul out, in your opinion? How many fouls should it take for them to commit 6? Because you can't call every foul in your mind. How many fouls does Jokic, Shai, Giannis, Steph, LeBron, etc. How many fouls in a game do they have to commit?
I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm not saying
he's
that
not talking about just the 6 fouls that he gets.
I'm
How
saying
many does he have
the
to call before we get
context matters.
involved?
So,
Like, I gotta do
Mars, what
something
I'm
here.
saying is the second technical gets you tossed out, right?
Sure.
So maybe if I know that you a star player, I'm going to give you a little bit more rope on that second technical because I don't want to toss you out because it's bad for the game for me to toss you out. How much rope are you going
to give them on fouls? How many fouls?
He didn't get a foul call.
How many fouls would you have to see Shai commit before you say, okay,
if I'm a referee, I'm not calling that foul. I'm not calling that foul.
Pin, this sounds like a bunch of gap. He didn't have a foul call the rest of the game. The rest of the game. Did he just stop fouling?
Did it adjust his minutes completely? Did it benefit your team completely? Did it probably cost the Thunder the game?
No,
yeah,
no,
it did.
no,
yes,
no. They lost by 12. No.
That's
what I'm saying. You have been doing this. You believe OKC should have won in 6. You've been rooting for OKC, and they're not in the position you wanted them to be in, and you're emotional about it. So no, they did not lose because SGA was on the court in the fourth quarter.
Are you telling me what
he
I'm
was
thinking?
on?
Are you interpreting my beliefs?
No,
now?
you're emotional. You're literally you're emotional right now.
Right now,
you're emotional as we speak. Go ahead, Mars.
I'm emotional.
We actually do have a guest in
the game, man.
So we can get off of refs. We actually do have a Hall of Fame member in the back because it is Hall of Fame Friday. We do have Mr. Jason Grills, Hall of Fame member.
Hello,
what up, bro?
Yo, Jay Grills, what's up with your point?
What up, Jay Grills? It's my first time meeting you. What up, Jay Grills?
Yeah.
How you been talking shit about me in the comment section? I just want to know everybody that's pulling up.
Nah. I ain't talking nothing like that.
I'm just messing with you, big dog. I don't have no problem.
Just so you know, Penn, before last night, Shai's averaging 2 fouls, less than 2 fouls a game this series.
They're hiding him defensively, and he's not fouling a lot.
They're hiding him. I wonder why. But let's get to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they're trying to give him some time to rest because they built a roster of great defenders.
Swiper said that earlier. No, he's trying to be nasty. Jason, you have any beef with anyone up here? That's what Ron asks when he invites the Hall of Famer. You have anything you want to get off your chest with anyone up here apart from today?
Nah, I already got beef for real. I think the only thing I want to say is that I was looking on a whole bunch of media stuff and how we're about to do all this defensive player of the years and that's already gone away, all defensive teams. I'm seeing no love for Bam at all. And I don't want to derail everything, but I'm seeing no love for Bam at all. I think maybe because he's on the Heat, but I'm hearing takes that I don't agree with. I don't even think Lou Dort's better than Bam right now. So he's as defensively.
Does anyone think Lou Dort up here? Does anyone think Lou Dort's a better defender than Bam?
I do not think Lou Dort is a better defender.
Do you think Lou Dort is a better defender than Arch? That's really the question. Who was also entertained by fouls, he said. But yeah, everyone got Arch over Lou Dort as a defender?
Yep. Arch, DrenchmanSports.com or DrenchmanJordan.com. I mean,
so where do you rank Bam as a defender then? If you think people are underrating Bam,
if I could put Bam as a defender, I would say he would be somewhere around that. I would say like top 5, top 7 range, somewhere around there. I'm not saying Lou Dort can't be around there, but I think Bam's probably be above him.
Does everyone have Bam top 5? I think everyone has Bam top 5. Maybe.
I do.
I think.
I don't think there's 5 defenders in the game better than Bam. I don't.
Man, I'm thinking on it. As far as we're talking about strictly defense, I think I do got Lou Dort.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you 2 the room.
Over Bam?
I don't.
Me neither.
Yeah, I think I do got Lou Dort. Because I don't look at Bam as like an elite rim protector type guy. Don't do that. I don't want to get cooked by.
You're not gonna fade that. I was just checking.
I think so because like I know that Bam has like elite versatility, elite switchability, and all that. But I think Lou Dort's a big, strong dude. I think he can guard guys that are bigger than him. And I just don't think Bam's like a super rim protector. If Bam was a better rim protector, I think I would have to give it to Bam. But it's there's no gap at all. I think you're fine going either way. But I would say I would go with Lou Dort. I'm just in my mind. I'm just visioning how quick Lou Dort is. Lou Dort is deceptively fast. Like he's really quick. Like his feet, his change of direction. He can beat you to a spot and pivot, switch his hips real quick, and beat you to the next spot. I'm going with Lu Dort. Now I think
Bam said he's top 2 and he's not 2, so you disrespecting Bam right now in his mind. Anyway.
See, look, my thing about
but you know what though, Morris? I got a whole different issue with Bam, so this might be biased for me.
Oh. It is biased. It's 100% biased, and we know why. Let's keep it a bean.
Asia?
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it right there.
We talking straight hoop though. Forget about off the court stuff. And I love Bam as a basketball player, all around as a basketball player. I really love Bam's basketball playing ability. Mm-hmm. I think I like Bam more than I like Lu Dort. But if we're just talking about just strictly defense though, I think I might take Lu Dort. I think so.
So, if you separate in the rim protection, because Bam is a big at 6'9", he's not an elite rim protector. Okay, so what is Lu Dort elite at?
Just beating players to spot, putting not like Lu Dort, chill. Not like Lu Dort. Lu Dort. Yes, Bam does it, and that's why, like I said, there's no like gap for me. There's no like big space for me. I think Bam is an amazing defender. I'm not trying to take anything away from him as much as I'm trying to big up Lu Dort. I think the way Lu Dort gets his body squared in front of you, puts his chest in front of you when he beats you to the spot. I think playing defense like that is elite, man. People like Luke, and you know me, I do believe in the principles of defense. Like you play defense with your feet, not your hands. But I love when a player can beat you to a spot and reach a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Beat him to a spot, put your hand in there, take the ball. You know what I'm saying? If the ball's in front of you, reach. You know what I'm saying? And I think Lu Dort does that. I think Lu Dort is an elite defender. He's an incredible defender. I have to give it to Lu Dort. I don't want to. I'm forced to.
And I like the fact that Lu Dort will beat you to a spot and body you up. I like the fact that Bam does that also. Not only does Bam do that with perimeter players, he also does that with bigs, especially bigs who their offense is predicated on that big guy. Bam will take you out of that, right? So with Bam taking you out of that, then on top of Bam taking you out of that, Bam's ability to stop plays by rebounding the basketball. Bam might not be a 13, 14 a game rebounder like that, but Bam rebounds the basketball at a high level, playing the 5. So with his ability to switch, not only his ability to switch, his ability to challenge shots with the right hand, with the right hand, body you up when beating you to spots, on top of all of that, being smart and not fouling and being versatile on the wing. I think that there's a gap between both Bam and Lu Dort off the strength that I can cover more. I can cover more positions in this positionless era of basketball. Not only that, the fact that I can get on the glass and I can anchor a defense. I think that's the biggest point.
Sure, I will say this. I think Lu Dort can also anchor a defense. I think we kind of look at it like you have to be a big to anchor a defense, and I don't agree with that. I think Lu Dort's perimeter defense and his ability to pick you up 94 feet is more important than the anchor the defense term. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more important to disrupt the offense early than it is to meet a shot at the rim. You know what I mean? And I also think Lu Dort can guard power forwards better than Bam can guard point guards.
And I think that Bam can guard guards and guard on the perimeter. I think I'm not going to say that he guards better than Lu Dort, but I think he guards just as good on the perimeter in stretches.
What about that? What about the early defense thing though? I think it's very important for you to not let an offense get into their set, get into their motion until 16, 15 seconds left on the shot clock, and now you're just getting into your stuff. I think that's I think that's invaluable.
I can definitely appreciate you picking a guy up full court and getting teams into their offense. 12, 13 seconds left on the shot clock, 10, 11 seconds. But I can also appreciate a guy like Bam when you know that the screen is coming, because we playing a heavy pick and roll league where Bam is pushing those big guys away from that screen and blowing up your action that you're trying to start. In addition to blowing up your action, also pushing that guard away from the basket, even when he's trying to split that double team. I'm actually beating him to the spot where now he's going away. Now that's causing the shot clock to go down even more, and that's causing your offense to get disrupted even more. On top of that, me getting on the glass, and when I get on the glass and I stop plays, I mean, that's what Grills is talking about when we talk about Bam being one of the better defenders in the game.
That's fair. I have nothing to say about that. I think Bam's an amazing defender. Like I said, I'm not trying to take nothing away from Bam. Now,
Grills, let me ask you this. Grills, let me ask you this. And I'm gonna run down a couple of players, and I want to see how you feel about them. Rudy or Bam?
Course of the season, I say because Rudy had that slow start. I say Bam this season.
Wembanyama.
Wemby.
Herb Jones didn't play this season. How about AD?
Wemby's hype.
AD. Nah, I thought that transition defense is killing me. It's been killing me all year.
How about Alex Caruso?
Alex Caruso, you got it.
Derek White?
Nice.
Bam.
Jaden McDaniels.
Bam.
Let's see, who else? We already talked about Lou Dort. Let's see, we already talked. How about Giannis?
Bam.
How about Keegan Murray?
Yeah,
Come on now.
Yeah,
Hey,
Keon Ellis. Hang on,
Keon
Keon Ellis.
I didn't
Keon
even-
Ellis.
How about Zubac?
No, let's stay on Keon Ellis for a second.
Then we ain't gonna stay on Keon Ellis.
And
I'm just saying names.
Yeah. How about Zubac?
Keon really good, man.
He not Bam good. Like, he's
so
good.
far this season,
Zubac.
Zubac's my favorite player to watch. Man.
Zubac? Okay.
Yeah, I love Zubac, but it might
Me
be
too.
it might be Bam. Might be Bam.
How about why is it not Bam definitively?
You're still
What,
muted.
I think that
am I muted?
Nah, Jordan.
Zubac,
that-
Zubac being your
There
favorite
you
player is kind of crazy. That's what
I think that like this rim protection that Zubac's been showing us all season long, the fact that he's borderline anchoring this Clippers defense for most of the season because he's like their only big. Really, it really to me impresses me how disciplined he can be because he's not, at least during like that whole Clippers series, especially he wasn't like drawing like a whole bunch of fouls all game. It seemed like, and that he wasn't like out of his spots a whole bunch. It's like he really knew what to do. He knew what the other team's counters were going to be. He knew where to switch at. So I think Zubac to me is like, especially at the last season watching the Clippers, like he showed me like so much growth. And now to me, he can be in that conversation for probably a top 5 defender.
But you still got Bam over him because he hasn't done it.
Oh
long
yeah.
enough. Because he hasn't done it long enough. Is that what the issue is?
I'm not putting
No,
Because
I
everything
think-
everything that you said to me sounds like an elite defender. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
OG.
these are both elite defenders. So like, it's not like one. I don't think the only gap in this league to me is Wemby. That's the only gap I got. But everyone else, I think they're all not relative like tier. If you're in like that top 5
Evan Mobley.
to like top 7,
That's where I was going.
then I think that.
Do y'all think Wemby can like really sit down and guard like that on the perimeter?
No.
that's not his job though? That's why I'm not judging.
I mean, I'm just saying in a league of bigs that they make it.
If he
their
was
job.
7'4" and can do that, then I don't know what he'd go back.
He's been the best defender of all
Bam a
time,
better defender than Chet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on what you're asking, but rim protector, yes.
No, defense,
I think he's a better
value,
defender.
Rim
defense.
protector, yes.
Yes, a better rim protector.
Bam
than
is
Chet.
a better.
Oh.
Chet, you said Chet is? Oh yeah. Chet's a better rim protector, but
Chet's a
Bam is a
better
better
overall
defender.
defender.
no, he's
No,
not guarding. He's not guarding the
he's
guards
not better
like
at, I don't think he's better at switching than him. I don't think.
yeah.
He is.
Well, I
No,
think
I know.
Bam might be the best switch defender in the league. Like,
Yeah. So,
I think it's
Yeah.
him and Mobley.
But there's
That's his
limitations
thing.
because he doesn't protect the rim very well. He doesn't get there very often, and he doesn't do very well when he's there. So
but his problem is kind of like
is Bam better than Draymond? Is Bam better than Draymond?
No. Draymond's better than Chet too though.
Hold on,
I
Jordan.
think Draymond's better.
Jason?
I think they have the same problems at the moment. I think the fact that they both more Draymond because his athletic decline, they kind of both need like that big or
Yep.
someone like rim protector in the back to help them since they're not traditional center, traditional rim protectors. Kind of like how a guard can be. But I think they both can do it at like a good and stretches elite levels. But right now, the things I'm seeing Draymond doing, he got to be better than me. Like Draymond to me is top 3 this year. He's been crazy this year. If he stopped all this fouling and nonsense, then he'll be
Well, he's
so
not
much
gonna do
better
that. He's always been that.
Because
He's
then
always
he'll be
been
in the
that.
game a lot
Yeah.
more. And then his teams will actually win a lot more. But if that's too much to ask for Draymond. So
We
know
have
what
to
that
ask
is.
about Amen Thompson, but I guess we'll just never happen.
He was my next guy, to be honest with you, Mo.
Oh yeah, Oscar, go ahead.
I was gonna ask because we were going over guys. I said Mobley, and then my next guy I was gonna say Amen Thompson.
And then I think Amin is in that Bam, Mobley, Caruso tier. I don't know, those guys right there. I think it'll be hard for me to like kind of rank them. I think Bam, like if you ask me personally, I think Bam will probably be better than them. But if you will tell me that Bam is better than Amin is better than Bam and anything like that, or Caruso's better than any of them, then I'll be with you. I'll be with you with any of that because I think they're all in that relatively same tier.
So it's a pick 'em with those guys. There is no guy that's definitively better.
That's like that tier, like defenders right there that I think no one else is touching. Like Bam, Amin, Caruso. It used to be what's his name? Guy from Memphis.
Jaren Jackson.
It used to be Jaren Jackson, but I don't like how it seems like Jaren Jackson. I don't want to say run away from contact, but it feels like whenever he gets contact, he gets so much worse. I don't like that. Or Rudy Gobert could be in that tier as well. AD and stretches could be in that tier, but like I said, our transition defense is killing me with AD, especially with these days when almost all the teams in the West are really good transition teams. So that kind of makes it harder for AD to be as effective. So I don't think that I can put AD in that tier anymore.
Damn, AD sucks.
Unbelievable.
Enough about Bam and his defense because he's not in the playoffs, so we're not talking about him no more. Hev became a member. Shout out to Hev. And then we do have some super chats. I saved this one for Penn because I know he's in touch with the draft and stuff, and I didn't want to waste Foster Boone's money. He said, thoughts on the Wizards draft pick. I'm high on Derek Queen, but worried about the defense in the front court if they take him. So what are your thoughts on the Wizards draft pick?
Why are you worrying about the defense in the front court?
Sar's
gonna be your anchor. Don't worry, brother. Sar's gonna be your anchor. But go ahead, Penn. I'm sorry.
I get the concerns. I think the biggest concern with Derek Queen, give you some insight. Someone asked him at the draft combine, what kind of shape you in right now? And he said 7 or 8. That worries me. 18% body fat. That worries me. His combine test results worry me. His motor on defense worries me. And his fit with the Wizards worries me. This is a guy who needs to go to Miami. This is a guy who needs to go to structure. I believe a big part of the draft is nature versus nurture. Everyone wants to pretend that these guys are going to be stars. Yes, Derek Queen in the right situation will be a star. He's very talented, extremely talented. Probably top 5 talent in this draft. Great feel for the game. For a 6'9" dude, he really does remind me of Julius Randle and Naz Reid. And frankly, he has moments where he give you a little flash of Jokic too. But he's a flat jumper. Wonder how the athleticism will translate. He's a very good guy. A lot of his teammates love him, but I don't know about number 6, man. I have a feeling him, and I'm getting a feeling Ace Bailey might fall. So that's my thoughts.
I've seen some of the
I've
seen some of the interviews from Ace Bailey, and
so 2 players went viral yesterday. Carter Bryant, my dude Carter Bryant, he went viral for speaking some common sense about Toumani Camara and talking about how he studies Toumani Camara film. People were very impressed with that, so people were blowing him up. And then Ace Bailey went viral for the wrong reasons, talking about bad shots. And specifically, he was asked about, shots, and he said, I work on those shots. You don't work on those shots. That's why I take those shots. It came off as arrogant, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you talk to Carmelo Anthony, Lou Williams, literally any shot maker in the league, they all feel exactly that way.
Yeah,
so I'm not trying to roast them.
It can come
Scores
down to
too.
confidence. Yeah, it can come down as confidence. It depends on perception. If
All
someone who with a positive perception says the same thing is seen as confidence and belief in their skill set, Ace Bailey, who's stock, especially in like the draft community, especially on Twitter, because the draft community on Twitter is not Ace Bailey guys. They're viewing it as like, oh, low IQ, blah blah blah, arrogance. It's like, I feel like it confirmed that statement just confirms whatever you thought about Ace Bailey in the first place. In my opinion, it doesn't do much.
But you always bet Baylor, by the way. So outside the top 2, I'm always betting Baylor every year, every single year. Yes, every year. I'm always betting Baylor. They always upscale in the league. Respect. Keontae George, shout out. He's the next one.
VJ and Philly could be nice. I'm going to ask you this, Swiper. Zenon Forward says, do Jamal and AG got any motion in Hall of Fame talks?
Well, basketball Hall of Fame is different. Aaron Gordon played for Team USA when he was younger. Then he has the Arizona years. He was great at Arizona. Then he's going to have a year. Well, if they win 2 rings, he'll be a key contributor on 2 rings. The 3 dunk contests finalist runner-ups. That would be his resume. All-time two-way role player in his era.
You're not making Hall of Fame with that.
And then Jamal Murray, Team Canada, but no real Team Canada moments for like highlights.
6 points per game this summer.
But he was hurt. He was hurt, to be fair. But the Kentucky year, the first ever Kentucky guard averaged 20 points a game as a freshman. That's a big deal.
All this yapping to say no.
And well, he asked me a question. I'm thinking through it. So shut your yap. I think if he wins 2 rings and he has like multiple NBA Finals level playoff runs, he has an argument. But even that, it's going to be tough. It'll be really tough for Jamal Murray.
There's no chance.
He doesn't.
It's a flat no.
Well, I mean,
Jamal
Jamal Murray
gets
starts making all-star teams and stuff.
Yeah.
Never
If he
too
makes
late.
3 or 4, maybe.
Jalen Guyton said, do you guys think the Thunder could benefit by using the triangle offense similarly to how the Lakers used it with Kobe going off script within the offense? Not saying Shai is Kobe, and if not, what offense? So yeah, would you change the Thunder's offense to more triangle principles, basically?
So basically what the Golden State Warriors do, basically what the Miami Heat do, because they do run a lot of action off the ball and a lot of dribble handoff stuff with Bam. It could be it, but in order to do that, you need a 5-man that's a good passer. Is Chet a good enough passer for this to work?
Yeah.
So
Iheart is for sure.
Yeah, it'll be him.
They
use Iheart in the post with like they'll run some splits.
Yeah.
They'll have
The Nuggets
Iheart
are
playing
cutting out
up,
those
go and
passing
find
lanes now,
players.
though.
Yeah.
Because
that's the issue, but they do use Hartenstein as like that post hub sometimes, not to score, but like to find guys. Like
They should draft Derek Queen. He would fit.
Oklahoma City?
Yeah, what pick do the Thunder have?
I think they have the 15th pick. If he falls, they should pick him.
Yeah, but they have 30 other picks they could trade up if they wanted to.
They do.
I wouldn't trade up.
Yeah.
Because since you brought up the triangle offense, I was asked earlier today, and I think it's incredible.
On TikTok Live?
Yes, chill. What would Joker look like in that triangle offense with Kobe Bryant?
What?
And I'm thinking to myself, he would look fantastic
Mm-hmm.
in that offense.
They wouldn't have lost to the freaking Detroit Pistons. I can tell you that much.
He would look fantastic in that offense.
Who would be the best? Who would be the best player on those teams?
It's just like Shaq. It'll be the big. Yeah, I mean, I'm respect to Kobe though. Respect my dog. I would have loved to see it.
Yes.
I would love to see it. I would love to see
Yes.
it. I'd love to see it.
Well, because because of him, that's what the triangle offense is about. The triangle offense is about ball movement. You get to play your game within the triangle, Mars. Let's be clear about that.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't hamper your game. You still get to play your game within the offense.
What's the best defense Kobe ever played in the playoffs, Joe?
The best
The
defense,
04
I think.
04 Pistons, 08 Celtics.
Okay. Well.
The best defense.
Let's cut out the 04 year because he was hot garbage. So
You just asked the best defense. You ain't saying what was the best defense he played.
that would be that
Celtics. It'll be
that
08
would
Celtics
be
outside of that.
well. Wait a minute. That would be why he was garbage, because he played against that defense.
Well, he was
The defense was a part of it. The decision making was another part.
he was horrible in that series. I'm not
Yes,
gonna
he
lie to
was. No,
I wish we
I'm
had
not
social
arguing
media
that.
around. Goodness gracious, man.
Social media was around.
No, I mean, but Black Planet doesn't count. Black Planet doesn't count. Pen,
But-
do you remember what Black Planet was, Penn?
No.
Okay. Well, it was around.
But to-
MySpace,
To answer
Facebook,
his,
the shit was around 2005.
To answer his
Brown is
question.
my theme song.
To answer his question, and Swiper, you and me have had this conversation. How much more complex? Because I think the triangle is outdated. I'm not going to argue that, right? But if we had an upgraded version of the triangle, are guys smart enough today, considering what kind of education that they've had coming into the NBA? Are they smart enough today to pick up the triangle? Because a lot of those guys back then, like Gary Payton struggled in the triangle. Carmelo Anthony struggled in the triangle. So the triangle wasn't as it.
Carmelo was
not
elite in the triangle in 12-13.
I'm talking about what I'm talking about is I'm talking about picking it up. He didn't pick it up as quickly as other guys did. What I mean is, in terms of the education, like a lot of these guys, like they didn't come from AAU. They came from coaches like Dean Smith. They came from great college coaches who taught them the game. And the principles of the triangle have a lot to do with fundamentals, being able to cut, pick, dive, making the right read, stuff like that. So if you add the triangle into today's offense with teams, with guys who come from systems where they only played 1 year in college or AAU backgrounds, would they be able to pick up the triangle offense or something that complex as quickly as you would?
I think the smartest players ever, yes. I think LeBron, Jokic, Luka, Nash, any of those archetypes.
What about
How?
OKC? That's what I'm thinking about. I'm
I think
thinking
SGA
about
can figure it out.
OKC.
SGA doesn't have the passing yet. I think if you gave SGA more years, he would get there.
I think these basketball players.
Unlike Penn, we know there's a clear gap between Kobe and SGA passers. And
No, but not no, Swiper. Don't no. Wait a second, because
Yeah,
I'm
there is.
not. No, hold on. Y'all not gonna just keep walking by this bullshit. How come all of a sudden they get Jokic? They beat the Pistons. How the hell is Jokic the best player on these teams with Kobe Bryant? What is wrong with y'all? More chill.
Can I
I am
watch those
very
series?
disappointed. I am very disappointed.
Can I
in
watch
the
those
fact
series?
that I am very. Stop talking, Swiper. I am very disappointed in the fact that I walk away from the screen for 30 seconds and I gotta listen to this bullshit about what is wrong with y'all? What is this? What is this disdain?
I don't know how many people up here think
I'm not talking to you, but I'm not talking to you, Pin, because you are a clear Kobe Bryant hater. I hate this. I hate the fact that this platform.
So is this guy. So is he.
And so are you. I am so disappointed in you guys.
He hates
I am
Kobe.
so Morris. Could you mute these? Could you mute them, please, Morris? Could you mute Chill, Swiper, and Pin, please? I am so disappointed in you guys for letting this platform turn into a Kobe Bryant hate session. What is your problem? What is going on here? And you
What
lied.
can I say? You said Chris Webber's better than Jokic, and we can't push back against that.
You can do whatever you want. You can do anything.
Okay,
you
then
want,
let me do what I want then, Ox. Then I'm gonna push
Except for
back.
hating, you
Run
can
a
do what you
poll.
want, and I'm going to press you about it. I'm
You ain't
going to
pressing
press you
nothing.
every time.
I'm gonna press you just like old boy.
I'm gonna press you just like
old boy.
you would, just like
old boy do.
Just
When you got hit
just
up
like
on the wall.
Just like Cowboy Bob came
Hey,
up
y'all,
here and pressed
I
you
got hit
yesterday.
up on the wall in real life and real by somebody on PC, by the way.
You wasn't there. You wasn't there, Swiper. You wasn't there. Stop talking about shit you don't know about. How come I had to pay for the wall then? Look, anyway, what I'm talking about is why do y'all consistently do this shit with Kobe Bryant? Somebody asked
no question.
somebody said something, and y'all just instantly, Jokic. What is wrong with
That's
y'all?
not how he answered. He asked me, who be the best player on the team? I said Jokic. What's wrong with that?
And then chill on this Good Friday here. On Friday, May 16th, you just let it go by.
Well, Kobe sucked
Mars,
against the
you didn't
Pistons.
say nothing. My man Jason, you didn't say nothing. You let these two dudes over here just disrespect Kobe Bryant and try to dig up this big flopping bastard. I am so sick of this shit. No, he would never be better than Kobe Bryant. Never. SGA would never be better than Kobe Bryant. Jacob would never be the best player on any team with Kobe Bryant on that team.
It's already happened, my brother.
The shit I have to hear from y'all.
It's already happened, my
I
brother.
am so sick of this.
And we not doing, and Ox, we not
You
doing.
know what Rasheed Wallace and Bill Wallace would have did to Jokic in 2004?
Hey, they're playing a better
nothing.
defense now than
nothing.
Kobe played in 04.
Nothing. No, they're
And
not.
Kobe sucks.
Ain't
And
nothing.
Kobe sucks
What is-
versus that team.
You're saying that the Thunder defense is better than the
Yes,
Pistons
they are.
defense? Swiper?
Yes.
Yes, they are. They are.
Mars, send him to hell, Mars. Send him to hell. What is happening right now?
What's
Oh
happening
my
is
God. What is wrong with y'all?
No, what's happening is you're stuck
Close
behind
your lips. Zip your lips, Pin. Zip your lips.
Create a Bobby. Pull up
There is
Mars.
no-
Mars, do
there
your
is
job. Pull up the
no
chat.
way.
Create a
There is
Bobby.
no way you
That's
guys are
exactly
telling
right.
me
Look
this
at that. Look at that
bullshit right
chat.
now. What is happening?
Look at that chat.
What is happening?
Ox, you are the one. Ox, you are the
No,
one.
no, hide this. Hide that camera.
Ox, you are the one. You are the one who consistently.
Oh
talks about
my
basketball
God, what
players.
is going on?
And no, there's nothing going on that's out of the ordinary. The triangle offense is perfect for what Joker does. Everything that Joker does.
That doesn't make it better than Kobe Bryant, chill.
Now, what now? Again, the question was asked, who would be better in this skill set, in that offense? How much better with Joker, who's a pass-first big, who's a playmaker like he is, as opposed to Kobe Bryant, who's primarily a bucket getter, who can also pass, but primarily a bucket getter, a one-on-one player, or Joker, who the triangle offense was constructed around a big to start. When Tex Winters drew this offense up, he drew this offense up around a big fella. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a guy who's an elite passer, who's 7'2", who can shoot the long ball, who can shoot the mid-range, who can dive to the rim, who's fantastic at finding any and everybody who's open in this offense, that's consistent movement, who's elite at reading defenses, as opposed to a guy.
Hey, super chat. Pull up that super chat, Mars.
Chill, there is no offense ever created. There is no offense ever created that will make Jokic and SGA better basketball players than Kobe Bryant.
I ain't
He
saying
didn't
that.
say SGA. He didn't say
There is,
SGA.
I don't care.
He didn't say
I say SGA. I say SGA. There is no offense ever created that will make Jokic and SGA better basketball players than Kobe Bryant. There is no defense. There is no scheme. There is no scheme that Mark Daigneault can. There is no scheme that Mark Daigneault can draw up that will make that defense better than the 2004 Pistons. Rasheed Wallace and Bill Wallace will be shutting that shit down. Jokic can't play against Rasheed Wallace and Bill Wallace.
Jokic has already dominated the series, though.
Swiper, shut your lips. Shut your lips, Swiper. There is no way I move away. I don't care who's here. I don't give a shit who's here. I don't care who's here, Swiper. I cannot listen to this shit anymore. Okay, y'all would not. No, I would no. I would no longer allow. I would no longer allow y'all to disrespect Kobe Bryant on this platform.
Chill.
You guys would no longer.
Are we tripping? Two of Kobe's first.
I'll mute you. This Swiper. I would no longer allow you guys to disrespect Kobe Bryant on this platform. I would not have it. I would not have it.
What's the disrespect, Ox?
Chill. I would not have it. I would not have it. There will be no more Kobe Bryant disrespect on this platform. Okay, no more.
Than Joker. I think Kobe Bryant is better than SGA. 100%.
No more. I would not have it.
What? And nobody is disrespecting Kobe Bryant. I think Kobe Bryant is better than Joker. I think Kobe Bryant is better than SGA. But put Joker in that triangle offense. The way
he's not better than Kobe Bryant.
Why is Kobe better than Joker?
Watch the game, Swiper. You can see it.
I got you. Watch
you
the
can
game.
see it. Yeah, watch the game, Swiper, because that's how.
Why did Kobe struggle so bad versus the Pistons?
Why would the same way Jokic would struggle against the Pistons?
He looks pretty good to me now.
Jokic, all that shit to be shut down when Rasheed and Bill Wallace. He's not playing against 05. He's not playing against 04 Pistons.
Versus a better defense, I agree.
No, he's not. These little ass boys are not better defenders than the 2004 Pistons, and I want you to stop saying that. Stop lying, Swiper. Stop lying, okay? You know Rasheed Wallace and Bill Wallace.
Why was Kobe so good against Denver? Because Denver sucked. They
will shut that shit down, Swiper. Oh my God! I can't believe y'all got me so upset on this beautiful Friday. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. The birds are chirping. Dogs are barking, and I just can't believe you. I can't believe y'all right now. Oh my God!
Is Alex Caruso better than Tayshaun Prince as a defender?
No, and as a team, as a whole team, I'm not talking about one-on-one. As a team, the Detroit Pistons were a better defense than these Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, and yes, and Tayshaun Prince is shutting all that shit down.
He didn't.
None of these little ass 6'3", none of these little ass 6'2" guards are playing defense like 6'9" Tayshaun Prince, longer arms, fast move. No, you're doing this not the defender Tayshaun Prince is.
Better defender than Tayshaun Prince.
Yeah, I ain't saying Tayshaun.
Yeah, Tayshaun Prince was huge, Morris. Tayshaun Prince is huge. These little ass these dudes are little. They're 6'2", 6'3". They're small. They're not Tayshaun Prince. Not at all. They're not. And Chet is not Rasheed Wallace. Chet is not Rasheed Wallace.
This series started.
I don't care about consensus, Swiper. I don't care about you and these.
I know. You believe Chris Webber's better than Jokic. I know you don't care about consensus.
Swiper. I don't care about consensus. No, I'm talking about basketball. I don't care, and I don't care about your stupid ass analytic firms and none of that bullshit you're talking about. Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace are better than any three. I don't need no water. Water, okay? I don't need water. Water needs me. Swiper, don't keep interrupting me while I'm cooking you, Swiper. Okay? No. Joker can't play with Rasheed and Ben. Joker can't play with Rasheed.
Joker would have bust Rasheed.
I'm finna do something. I'm throwing shit. Sorry, why are you? What are you talking about?
I'm just fucking with you, Ox. I don't believe that.
It's the fakest crap shot I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Swiper, I swear to God, I wish you was here right now. I'll show you how unfake this crash out is. I want to fight you right now, Swiper. I can't believe you I can't believe this disrespect.
He asked me a question. I think Kobe.
And you lied, bro. And you lied. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with y'all? I can't believe I walk away from the computer for 30 seconds and y'all just take that time to disrespect Kobe Bryant. I would not allow this shit anymore. I would no longer allow y'all to disrespect Kobe Bryant anymore.
2025. We'll remember this moment.
I cannot believe this.
Like that.
No, I don't. No. But I respect basketball, Swiper. I don't care if I'm a fan of any team. I respect basketball. I hated Kobe Bryant for a very long time, but I still respected the basketball. I respected the dog. Y'all keep wanting to put these dudes on his level, and they're just not there, bro. This is ridiculous. And y'all just want to say this with a straight face. Oh yeah, he'll be better than Kobe Bryant. But keep Kobe Bryant out your fucking mouth. Keep his name out your mouth. Don't speak on Kobe Bryant anymore. That goes for you too, Pin. Don't say his name anymore. Don't speak on Kobe Bryant.
Kobe. And
now I send him to hell. See, now you're out of here, Swiper. You're gone.
Yeah, Ott does have the controls. Yes, always can do those things. Before we do move on to some more super chats, Mine's Goblin, by the way, said nostalgia is an amazing thing. He spent a lot of money to say nostalgia.
This rewriting of Kobe's career in 2004 down is very interesting to me. But
I want to ask our Hall of Fame member, Jason.
What's up?
A, who's better, Jokic or Kobe Bryant? And then B, who's better defensively?
I'll kick his ass out of here too, Mars.
The 04 Pistons or the current Thunder? So answer the first question first, and then we'll talk about the defense.
When it comes to Kobe, I'm very high on Kobe. So, like Kobe to me, I don't even have Jokic in my top 10 yet, and Kobe's already in my top 10. So I'm thinking Kobe's better.
Okay. And then
when it comes to the 04 Pistons and
hang on. You're talking career. We talking peak. Has Jokic peaked higher this year than Kobe's best year? That's all I'm asking.
Oh no.
Go ahead, Jason.
Ox, I swear to God, you stuck in Betamax right now. Okay.
Pin, zip your lips. Zip your lips.
Let Jason talk. Let Jason talk. I can get some comments. I can get some common ground here. What do you think?
I did not.
What do you think?
No, I didn't.
That's for you to decide, Jason. Whenever you think Kobe's best year is.
Pick a year between 2004 and 2009. You're probably gonna hit.
Try to pick a year where Jokic played a little defense too, Jason. Oh, there is none. There is none.
I would love to talk about this, Ox. Where have you been all series? Where have you been?
I said a season. I said a season. Swiper. I said a season. I didn't say either. He didn't play no defense. He didn't play no defense. Where was he going? He didn't play no defense. Swiper. He didn't play no defense. Why are you trying to pretend like he plays some defense?
You're spitting on your mic. You're spitting on your mic.
I got more mics. I got more mics. I'll throw this one away. I got more mics. I'm not going to allow y'all to disrespect anymore.
Jason, answer the question.
Yes, go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
Peak wise, I think Kobe has one of the best peaks ever, so I'm saying Kobe all the way.
There you go.
But
Jason,
and it comes to the 04 Pistons and the OKC. I think that's a real hard question for me to answer. But if I would have to pick off like what I can remember right now, I would say probably OKC would be better. But personally, I don't even think that's the best defensive team when it comes to the 04 Pistons. I don't think that's the best defensive team.
What is the best defensive team?
I think the best defensive team I've ever seen was the 2014 Spurs. That 2014 Spurs defensively to me was ridiculous defensively.
When?
At
2014, he said.
Kawhi,
I believe it was the
23 years old.
Especially in that Heat finals with them, and that was crazy.
I'll give it to the 08.
Well, LeBron sucked that series too. So we're saying the LeBron series that he lost?
Yeah.
They lost.
Well, that's interesting. He sucked that series too, Ox.
Hey,
the numbers say he averaged 28 on 57% shooting. But Mind Goblin sent another $100 super chat saying, Chill is having fun right now. He's saying that you're enjoying the Kobe.
No, he's anti-Kobe, and he octagon at me when he's anti-Kobe. I'm not even anti-Kobe.
Do I need to do this? Is this bottom row just the Kobe haters? Is that what I need to do?
No.
Thank you, Mars. Thank you, Mars.
We are Kobe realists.
Because these two started it and Chill allowed it. And I just can't believe what I was
anything.
listening.
Chill asked the question.
So let me put Chill right here. There you go. He's the
Chill allowed it.
Okay, first of all, I didn't ask anything.
Yes, you did.
No,
Why
I-
y'all
Who would
wait,
play better in the
why-
triangle?
I
You said who would be the best
One more
player on the
time,
team, and who would play better in the triangle?
It was me who asked.
The triangle question was you. No,
Mars-
chill.
You know what's funny?
I
You know
asked
what's
if
funny?
I
Jokic
asked-
on the team, who would be the best player?
What's
I'm
the
about to
average
leave,
age?
man.
What's the average age of the top row?
Jason, how old are you?
22.
22. Ox is like 38.
No,
So
he's
the
not.
average age.
38.
He's
I'm
not
34.
38. He's 34.
Yeah.
And
No,
Mars,
he's
you
not.
like
He's
12.
33. He's 33.
Okay.
He's
The
33.
average age.
So-
The average age.
I'm not. I'm 34.
Average
When's your birthday?
And what's the average age of the
October.
bottom row?
I'm 35 in October.
Damn,
I'm at
average age, we over 40.
So let's
You
get
know
to the
what the
bottom of
difference
this.
is?
You're over 40. Y'all over 40?
The
Ken,
average
question-
age of the bottom
no,
row.
stay
Mr.
right- stay right here.
PhD, I don't
Stay
know
Ken,
if
you over 40?
The question
No,
was
like
asked.
average age.
The question was
Bring me to the
asked.
top row. Give me
Because
Oscars.
I
Potato
asked.
head.
I
This
asked
your road. This your road.
I asked earlier. Because somebody
What
asked me, what would Joker look like in the triangle offense with Kobe
Swipe
Bryant?
it.
And I
No
said
way
that
you're going for
he would
that.
look fantastic. Mars, then later on after I said that, Mars said, would he be better than Kobe Bryant in this offense? Mars started this.
I said who would be the best player on the team. That's what I said.
Mars said who would
But-
be the best
yeah.
player on the team. Mars
It
was
was
the
me.
one.
It was definitely
Mars
me
the
who
one who
started.
threw the stink bomb in the room.
Chill, Karen.
That's
Yeah,
what
It was
we
absolutely me.
bottom row.
It was absolutely me. Absolutely. I
Yes.
know I'm
Mars
doing.
is-
I know how
Mars
to
is
make
the one who
content. We
threw
just
the
had
ball in the
30
room.
minutes of amazing content. You're welcome.
Yes, we did.
But I do have to read super
Yes,
chats
we
now. Jalen, who's actually his super chat actually started the segment that led to this. So really, we should be blaming him. But he said I was specifically asking because I think SGA and Chet and J-Dub would benefit from the chances the triangle create.
I think they could. I think
That's
they
where it
would
was
too.
started. He was trying
More
to
ball
make
movement.
those
Fair enough.
arguments.
Yes.
I don't
Yes,
like Shai in it personally, honestly. I don't like Shai. Shai's been showing me too much tunnel vision lately. He's been showing me his lack of ability to get off the ball a lot of the time, and I'm not with it right now. I don't like how aggressive he's being, like overly aggressive he's being right now. How he
Wasn't
tries
that
to
Bryant?
fix
Wasn't
mistakes.
didn't everybody complain about that with Bryant in the triangle
Yeah.
when he was getting 40 and 35?
Yeah.
Didn't they do that with him too?
The average age argument is because we are all like this bottom row, pretty much, including Chill, but myself and Swiper as well. We were all actual adults when Kobe Bryant was playing basketball. We're not revisionist historians going back and watching
Wait,
Kobe
when?
freaking TikTok.
Don't
reels.
ever, but see, you don't. I'm not gonna sit here and allow you to disrespect me like I'm a child. I watched Kobe Bryant.
Pau Gasol.
You watch Kobe
Adult.
Bryant through your lens.
Yeah, you was an
Do you watch Kobe Bryant through your hating ass lens?
What
I'm not a hater.
age is an
You
adult?
are. You're the one that came up here and told us that Arvidas Sabonis was better than Kobe Bryant.
Like,
You're the one who
he's
said
an
that. It
Liar.
was.
Yeah,
I never said
18
that.
is an adult. Yeah.
I never said he was better than Kobe
can-
Bryant.
you convert
I-
that.
I-
Germany-
I
Germany
put him in the
13 is an
same
adult.
tier, buddy.
You can drink.
I
You
think
did
that-
it. You did it on my channel.
I think to counter your point, Jason, I think that SGA would benefit it. So you got a mid-range, you got a guy who can shoot in the mid-range, you got a guy who can finish great at the rim. I think he would benefit great in the triangle offense. All the cutting, not just cutting, but just finishing around the rim. I know I just said that, but I think that he'd be really good in the triangle offense. Also, J-Dub is another one. Now, the problem that we have in this is we would need somebody who can pass. That's the problem. We need somebody if we're going to play, because I think SGA can pass, but the reason why the triangle works is because you got guys like Scottie Pippen, you got guys like Jordan, you got guys that can pass the ball at an elite level, right? So because of that, we need somebody that can pass at an elite level in order for the triangle to work. Whether it's a big, whether it's somebody else, but we
Do
need
you think
somebody.
Shai can get there?
I
Do you
do.
think Shai can get to that? I won't say elite, 'cause I don't want Shai's getting to that elite level. Do you think he can get to that great tier passer?
I think he could. I think he can get there. Yes, he can't just be a primary bucket getter. I think that he can read defenses better. Now, when we talk about great tiers, who we talking about? Are we talking about Luka? Are we talking about Halliburton? Are we talking about Trae Young? I don't think he could be
He'll
that
never
good.
be that. He'll
The
never.
average,
I don't
listen,
think he
the
can be that
average, the average age of NBA champions is almost always closer to 30. It's very
Mhm.
rare when young teams win, right? We've talked about this. The Thunder are young. The
Sure.
03-04 Lakers had an average age of 29.35.
Mhm.
Kobe was one of the younger players on that team. But
Yep.
please believe me that those veterans on that team, they helped him. The veterans all the way through from 99 all the way to 2004 helped a lot. If you put Shai on a veteran-laden team right now that has all that buckets and all that experience, that 04 Pistons team was also a very veteran team. Tayshaun was younger, but a lot of those guys were in their prime. So look,
He was in year two or year three.
Tayshaun was
Tayshaun.
young.
I just look.
Was
Here's
it 2 miles or
here's-
3?
Yeah,
Yeah, too.
Okay.
All I hate about this is I'm always hearing this debate on Twitter and on all these places, but people trying to protect the past, and then some people trying to shit on the present. Respect the present, man. There ain't no way that Lakers team, if they were 24, 25 years old, was as good as they were. They got better as they got older. Players then tend to do better when they're closer to 28. So give this Thunder team some time, respect the present, enjoy the moment, and watch what you're watching, because you are. I think Swipe is right. I hate saying that. It tastes like vinegar coming out of my mouth, saying that he's right. But
that's because you're an eater. That's why.
I'm an eater. I'm an eater.
Can I read super chats now? Can I read super chats now?
As you were saying, Mars.
Yeah, we got a few super chats. We're gonna go all over the place now.
Sure.
Avery B said, "Did Russ have these same flaws in his prime?" Talking about the turnovers and decisions and
Yes.
stuff. For the last few years, sometimes when he touches the ball as a fan, you worry. LOL. Was he like this from 12 to 18?
He was, Avery. Yes, he was.
Yes.
But
I just think he had the ball more, so more good things happened as well.
Yes.
So
You just couldn't catch him, so it wasn't as bad. You couldn't catch him.
you go back and watch some old Thunder games. I think you'll be blown away with how many bad decisions Russ makes. And I'm not knocking Russ. Like, this is who Russ is. He's still an all-time great, Hall of Famer, first ballot, amazing,
Top 50 passer. Mars, say it.
Yes,
Is he
he's a top 50 passer. Yes.
I'm still with you on that one, Pin.
I'm not about to agree. Russ has always been a bad decision maker. Russ has always been a bad decision maker, but I still.
He's made good decisions, but a lot of the times Russ does things. And
but chill, who's a better point guard, chill? Russ or
Rod Strickland, Mike Conley. Literally, pick one.
I was gonna say Dre Miller. I was gonna say Andre Miller.
I knew he was gonna say Andre Miller. I knew he was gonna say Andre Miller.
Mars, we right here, Mars. That's why
I knew he was gonna say Andre Miller.
Dre Miller. Who's a better point guard, Russ or Dre Miller?
Well, Dre Miller.
I think Andre Miller's a better lead guard. Russ is a better player than him.
Yeah, let's say we can say Andre Miller, but that's because of he doesn't have the same level of floor. But Russ is
that's fine. I won't argue with y'all about who's a better basketball player. Like,
who would you rather have on this team leading the guard? Probably. Well, I don't want to be disrespectful.
Dre Miller.
But Russ is also way better. So I don't want.
Russ is better as a player. I'm not going to argue that point.
Way better. Way better.
This is.
Oh, would you would rather have Russ than Dre Miller right now on this Denver team?
Prime Russ.
Rim pressure.
Damn.
Related.
Not prime.
The lack of an outside shot from Andre Miller would have swiping mad as hell.
A lot of things go into your
game whenever it's Golden State in 2013.
He's not getting the same thing.
He's gonna knock down those.
He doesn't like that from swipe. He doesn't like
that. Dre Miller's gonna knock those.
Y'all not doing this to me. I watched Andre Miller in his prime every game. I like Andre Miller.
He was in Denver. Yes, he
was.
But
Russell Westbrook is a different deal, bro.
I didn't know y'all talking about prime Russ. If we're talking about prime Russ, then yeah. We want prime Russ on this team. But
now, Pimp, if he said Ty Lawson.
Okay. Pimp Name Slickback said, at what point are we holding Presti accountable? What is he holding those draft picks for? Why didn't he get a Cam Johnson or a 3-and-D wing? We need to be honest now.
Did I or did I not come up here and say very loudly that they needed to trade for Cam Johnson?
This was before
they are literally a Cam Johnson away because they can outmake buckets in those critical moments.
I mean, I think they would just want their all-star to be able to score the ball. But
would the injury to MPJ be contributed to this? Like, if he wasn't hurt, would I be getting better minutes from him?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. So if I'm getting better minutes from him, does this Cam Johnson thing? Are we even having this conversation? Because I think Denver's much better.
What's the matter with the Thunder?
I'll be honest with you.
How good is Cam Johnson?
But even for the Thunder. Right, even for the Thunder, right? To your point, Mars. Even for the Thunder. So if I'm taking Wiggins out of the lineup, I'm taking who else am I taking out of the lineup? And I'm giving up for Camp, and I'm taking Lou Dort out of the lineup. So
probably Dort and Hart.
Dre Miller.
I'm taking.
Are you niggas serious?
Get this.
No,
Dre Miller, you get out of here, chill. Dre Miller.
Calling from Cancun.
Here I am. I'm trying to enjoy the show, and y'all done gave me a heart attack.
We are boxing when I say
Dre Miller. Morris, you letting this happen?
Yo, chill. He's only saying that because Dre Miller almost beat him up in Vegas. He's only saying that because Dre Miller almost beat him up in Vegas. Real story. Real story. Dre Miller's for the fuck round up in Vegas.
Jake the Ice Grill. Dre Miller, you gonna let this happen?
Ron, we were talking about something different.
As a point guard, not as a player.
Not as a player.
Ron.
And Andre Miller in his prime and Russ today. That's what we're doing, Ron.
What position does Russ play?
He's
Huh?
the lead guard. He's the lead guard.
He plays
Volatile disruptor. He invented a new position.
And you can
So,
say,
so-
I'm not saying he's a better player. If you say
Crazy
Russ is
hate.
a point guard, Andre Miller's a point guard, Andre Miller's a better point guard than Russ. Like, you're saying he's better than Russ. That's what you're saying.
In his prime, in his prime, and Russell Westbrook today, I think I got a better decision maker. I got a better distributor. Yes, I'm doing that.
Better.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay, look.
Yes.
Andre Miller never
I'm
had the
doing that.
scoring gravity, the athleticism, the twitch.
How many
none
blown
of
layups
that.
I got to see from Russ?
Facts.
So many. How many missed layups does Russ? How many layups does Russ miss per game?
Russ
On
is
the series,
gravity.
though, like, at least three, right?
He'll miss 1 or 2 every game.
Russ has a lot of the same stuff that Giannis and LeBron have, where he is basically a one-way force to the rim. That one-way force creates double teams, openings, and gaps.
Tell him,
He
man.
can
Tell him.
Except for he's
occasionally
smaller than
make
him.
those passes. So y'all think that's related to the passing. It is part of the passing. Scoring and passing are related, but isolating actual decision-making and passing is not the same thing. Like Andre Miller's basketball IQ, Rajon Rondo's basketball IQ, decision-making, hand-eye coordination, pass talent, touch. This is way on another level than Russell Westbrook.
Hand-eye
Russell Westbrook's
coordination?
rim pressure is on another level than all those guys. That's the
We
difference.
debating hand-eye coordination?
It
That matters,
Ron.
bro.
We notified.
I knew he was gonna say that. That's why I said it. I beat you to it.
Wouldn't the rim pressure be a lot for the passing though?
Cool.
Since causing so much rim pressure can probably help your passing. More like someone like a Giannis, someone like a Zion who creates a lot of rim pressure that you need
Only
to be.
except-
Well, what's the
pass
difference
that.
between
And
Ben
Jason,
Simmons in his
that's
prime and
what-
Ben Simmons
that's
now?
what-
Rim
that's what
pressure.
Jim-
That's it.
that's what
Well, he
Jim
doesn't
Ross
go to the hoop. That's the difference.
That's the point.
But here's the difference. The difference to your point, Jason, is Russ is not creating that kind of rim pressure like Giannis today. He's not
Oh, yeah,
creating that kind of rim pressure like any of those dudes. So the fact that the lack of shooting from Andre Miller, I mean, that could get canceled out by Russ blowing layups.
It's just advantage generation show. If you can't,
I think a
if you
bad
can't
shooter
create
is
advantages
terrible.
anymore, because Russ used to be able to create an automatic advantage. Twitch, athlete, 2 steps at the rim, right?
Please
That's an
talk about
immediate
that,
advantage.
too.
You can't keep him in front of you. In transition, you can't keep up with him. So that's the Russell Westbrook formula. He's a free.
Wait, are y'all saying that Russ shoots better than Dre Miller? Because I want to push back on that.
Prime
I
Russ
wanna
when
push
he
back.
Prime Russ when he had a mid-range game.
Any Russ, I want to
Yeah,
push back.
35% from three that year.
I think Andre Miller shoot the ball better than Russ.
Prime Russ.
Andre didn't take any threes though, ever.
It was
Yeah,
just a
but-
different game. It was a different game.
No, he also
Dre-
just
I-
didn't shoot
I-
threes.
I think Dre Miller's a better shooter than Russell Westbrook.
You know, Russ and Dre Miller played. They overlapped a little bit. You know that, right?
I barely.
What, in the league?
Yeah.
Well, Russ was already a all
Yeah, but
NBA
by
player.
that point,
at Andre's
you're
peak.
talking about Portland Andre Miller at that point. He
Excuse
was
me?
like, cool, but like,
For what? They overlapped for what? 3 days, Ron?
No, I'm saying that
Denver-
Russ shot.
Andre Miller was in
Russ
the-
played
Andre,
in that league and
Denver,
shot better
his peak
too.
was Denver. Andre was
But-
his best years
Yo,
were in Denver.
Mars,
Late
we
in
talking
the late
about
2000s,
Boston.
early 2010s.
we talking about
Boston Knicks?
Boston, New York when we're on Playback.
First and
That's what
foremost,
we're
why are we
Oh,
listening
okay.
to Ron? Okay, Ron done came into practice. We already ran all our suicides. We done went over all the rebounding drills.
doing.
We here now. We at
Ron
the end
came
of
so
practice.
that I couldn't finish the super chats on time.
Right.
He's a
We
sneaky
in here
guy.
shooting
Yo,
free throws.
yo,
Ron
yo,
came
yo,
in
Ron-
practice.
I heard
Get
y'all
He
Ron.
need
came
to
to make sure that I overrun the
Is
show.
Ron-
Don't
We
get
not
me
Yo,
doing
Ron-
that.
Ron-
Let's get to the super chats. Get Ron
Ron only showed up for the
Get Ron
scrimmage
ass out.
segment of practice. He only
Nah,
showed up
we
for the
got-
last
we got-
scrimmage.
We got the last,
You know what?
the last second.
Hey,
his
get out of
ass
here,
out.
man. What we
Get
doing?
Ron ass out of here.
Have said, what are you guys' thoughts on the Nuggets fans suggesting that SGA's limited playmaking is the reason why J-Dub is playing so badly? Is that a Nuggets fan?
I haven't heard it.
I think Shai made much better decisions yesterday.
I think he's turning the ball over like a madman lately. But you know, it is what it is. I
You
think
talking
he's
about
struggling as a
Jokic?
passer.
You talking about Jokic turning the ball
No,
over?
Jokic only had 5
okay.
turnovers the last 3 games.
My bad. Okay, cool.
Another random meet. No, SGA has been turning the ball over more the last few games. I
All
think
right,
he's
so-
getting.
Yeah, what was
Super
it?
chats.
Game 5, he had like 4 turnovers in the first half and 1 in the
Yeah,
second
and then
half.
yesterday I don't remember he had 3 or 4. I can't remember. Yeah.
But Mo said, "Hello guys, just came back from work. Dub show so far, and chill. Whose career would you rather have, Kawhi or Bird?" And he said he's taking Kawhi.
Bird easy.
But Kawhi made more money.
Kawhi made more money, so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bird.
MP13 said, "I don't want to hear a thing about things going against OKC with fouls. The marginal contact on SGA's fouls is otherworldly. If other perimeter players got those calls, the league would be unwatchable.
He doesn't. I mean, we can talk about this all day. I hate that the reputation has outweighed the facts. He doesn't get to the line as much as D Wade. He doesn't get to the line as much as Kobe. He doesn't get to the line as much as. Okay. And Shai is not a supreme athlete because he doesn't burst to the rim.
Not D-Wade level.
No, he's not. He's not the level. He's not the level athlete that D-Wade and Kobe Bryant were. No, he's not. He's not on that tier.
I take a page from
I don't want to hear about.
That's why their free throws were so high, though. Like
deceleration. He's not the athlete.
No. D-Wade.
You don't have any deceleration. That's why you don't want to hear about deceleration.
Kobe's free throws were so high because he was quadruple pump faking. It's not just.
Am I right?
Right. Please.
Shai does that too.
Those guys are foul beating
all times.
Shai does that too.
That's my point. It's not just because they were twitchy athletes. Like they were getting to line because they had the tricks. Kevin Durant was getting 10 free throws a game, not because he was the burstiest athlete in the NBA.
Kobe was also getting to the line because
and he was also ripping through. Like that's what he was doing.
Yes,
like,
but D-Wade and Kobe
hates
Bryant were also getting to the line because they had the ability to blow by and the strength and athleticism to get in there with the trees and finish up here at the rim with them dudes.
I'm saying both of those things contribute to why they got to the line. So that's what I'm saying. Not one or the other. I'm not saying all their free throws were foul bait. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it wasn't just because they were just out athleting everyone they were getting to the line. D-Wade every game was going to do his rip through, or he was.
Wait, somebody said guarding Jamal Jokic for 48 minutes. He's not guarding either one of them the entire series. Like that's not. Somebody said in the comments like he's not guarding any of these people. He's not playing any defense on any one of them.
And he's guarding Christian Brown. Hunter said, for all the talk about flopping, I'm gonna make sure I outlive Ludor out of spite. He is a disgrace for all of his antics.
Yeah, he definitely is the off-ball flopper for sure.
He is not worse than Marcus Smart, so kill it.
Hey, Mars. Super chats.
Did y'all see SGA and Jokic going flop for flop? That was hilarious.
Flop for flop.
SGA who?
Jokic.
Jokic do be embellishing.
Yes.
Jokic in this series. It's getting
Jokic is flopping is embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Why? Because he's so big.
Yes. It's been embarrassing. I've been saying this all season.
He has. He's been saying this for years, actually.
What's more embarrassing, Jokic just flopping, or you saying Chris Webber's better than him?
What's more embarrassing? You know,
crazy.
You still stand on that? Oh, by the way, you still stand on that?
Of course he does.
Hell
He's stuck in 2004.
Zamze said, "Man, forget all this whining. Did you guys see Jokic jump and block?"
I'm gonna relax. No, I'm not.
And then he said, "Ox, when Jokic is playing defense, is he now better than Chris Webber?"
You play defense for 3 games, all of a sudden you're a defender.
When Jokic plays defense, is he better than Chris Webber?
When he plays defense, is he better than Chris Webber?
Yes.
That's what you're asking.
Yes.
Sure. Why not? Hell yeah. That's all I'll be asking. That's all I'll be asking for Jokic and Luka is to play a little defense.
Jokic and Luka, like they're anywhere near each other, by the way. Still doing
well, no. Well, Swipe, when I say that, I'm talking about 2 amazing, incredibly gifted basketball.
Now you'll find out when I see you. Yep, I'll hear you.
What did I miss?
What you saying, Swiper?
Swiper,
Atlanta ain't that far, bro. Don't
Swiper. Please don't hurt my good friend.
It's quite far. It's actually quite far from you. Quite far.
It's not far. It's not. Nothing is far. We got airplanes. You know how fast you can get to Atlanta? You know what we need to do, Swiper? We need to do that YouTube boxing thing. Let's get some money, Swiper.
Hey, mind goblin. Put the money up. You might have it. IG504 said, "Nah, Pen. The refs been hiding the whistle. Game 7 equals money." So basically saying the refs did everything they could to get this to a game 7. Is what he said.
I completely agree with you.
I wanted, yeah.
Devin Legia. I don't know. I tried. These arguments with Swiper become nonsensical. When Houston was winning, Jordan still pointed out the flaws all season still. The problem is because it's Swiper saying it. I think the problem is that Swiper, you apparently have all these hidden agendas that you don't speak about, but everyone else can see that's what you're doing. So you need to maybe hide your agendas a bit more.
Well, I think I'm hiding them too well is what I'm hearing. And Penn and Jordan do not like that.
No, people can see right through it. That's the problem. Everyone can see what you're doing, and you're denying it because you're not saying it.
That's why we're wearing sunglasses now.
Swiper, you try to be slick, but you don't wake up early enough for that. You got to get up
slick.
early.
Hey, slick. Get up off the ground. Next super chat.
You know what I mean?
Huh? Who's slick?
That dude, slick.
Don't worry about what's going on in here, Ron. Okay,
Ron. You just hit. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
I'm in here. He said, "Get off the ground." I'm trying to figure out who's on the ground.
Enjoy the show, Ron. Enjoy the show. Juke said the league better be worried that the Thunder don't make it out of this round. That move that Sam will make is gonna hit like.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, It's happening.
What, the
Maybe.
Giannis move?
When's Presti made a move like that though? So hopefully he doesn't actually.
So you think
Yeah,
something?
listen, man,
So if they
JW
get, so if they lose in the Western Conference semifinals, you think they do something drastic this summer?
No.
It's possible.
I don't
wouldn't
think
bet
they
on
do
it, but it's
neither.
possible.
I do. I put it past them. I don't
Why
think
would
that they
they?
do anything drastic.
I think this.
Only
I
guy
think this
got-
team right now. I think this team right now is good enough to win with marginal additions. I think they're good enough
Yeah.
right now with no additions.
I don't
It's
think that
just
they got to blow this thing up.
If they want to, if they want to make
To
it
get
without a
Giannis.
doubt, marginal moves, and I think that'll be
To
fine.
get Giannis
No, I
on
think
the
I
team is gonna
also-
take something drastic.
I also think it's safe to assume that like Chet and J-Dub are still getting better too. I think it's safe to assume. Now I'm not one of those people that believe that every year you're getting better and that you're getting better at the same rate every year. I don't believe that.
Right.
But I do think that these two dudes are young enough and with this experience, you know what I'm saying, going to game 7 with the Nuggets and having a deep playoff run, I think it's safe to assume that those dudes are going to get better.
Is this
for
the best
sure.
series
And don't
of the
forget the kids on the way too.
It's been a great series. That's right.
The kid's getting handed over. The kid is chill. The kid
Give
is
me the
gone.
kid, Morris.
SMN
Come on, Morris.
RNDM.
Come on, Morris.
SMN
Morris.
RNDM said the Kobe hates
Run that,
got us top.
Morris.
MJ, KG, Kobe, LeBron, Jokic. Top 5 ever in that order. So here's KG, the second best player ever.
Jokic.
Any other list is wrong. And if Luka looks in the mirror and takes this shit serious, he's gonna take Jokic's place in the top 5. You guys agree with his top 5?
No.
I don't
not-
agree with the
I'm
top
not
5,
mad
but
at
I do agree with that. The Kobe Bryant hate is going to stop. These 3 down here, I would know. I like I said, I would not have it. I would not have it. We are done with the Kobe Bryant hate. We are
Ox,
done.
I stand with you, Ox.
I'll say something.
We are done with it. We will have no more Kobe Bryant hate on this
Kobe's
platform.
better than
I
your
would not
favorite
allow
player.
it.
Just
I
remember
would
that.
not have it.
Cap.
You
Scotty
too, Morris.
Barnes?
Kobe
Okay.
better than your favorite player.
Hang on.
Yeah, better than
Pin, if you ever come up here and you make a case for Scotty Barnes being better than Kobe Bryant, I swear to God. I swear to
You
Pin,
gonna
don't
get a
ever
Canadian
Barnes
visa?
first
Don't
4
ever
seasons
do
versus
it,
Kobe's
Pin.
first 4
Please,
seasons.
Pin, I'm begging you, please, Pin, don't ever do it.
Probably Kobe.
Please.
Scotty Barnes told me to miss LeBron fans. Not gonna lie. It makes me
I
miss
was
him.
just checking the temperature.
Cool. There's an actual math to sorry, Ox, you might want to close your ears on this one.
Yep.
There's an actual math to NBA champions, and if you look back on the history of NBA champions, as I said, in the 3 years prior to winning a championship, they've averaged 54 wins, right? So I think I did this for like 25 years, and it held up pretty well. And the only there were very few exceptions, like the 08 Celtics were the exception because they put together a super team over one off season. So most teams have to go through this, like win, then lose, get a little bit further.
Sure.
54 wins is the mark. That's what I look for. The Thunder have won 55 games on average over the last 3 years. They're over the mark. So
I
this
won't fight that the Thunder are on the trajectory to win a championship. They might win it this year. I'm not fighting that at all. I'm not at all. I'm with you on that.
But what I'm saying is they've done this as the youngest team that has ever done this. So the future is very scary, which is what I'm saying. If you lose here, cool. Yeah, you gave one away. But the window
gave one away.
But what about the other teams that are getting better? What about Victor? What about Victor?
Playing in a 7-game series and giving one away, bro? That's always stuck in my craw, bro. But shout out, bro.
Yeah,
what about the
free throws? They gave one away.
If was a fifth, chill. If was a fifth.
What about the Rockets? What about the Spurs? What about all the other teams that are still getting better? What about the Dallas Mavericks just getting the number 1 pick? What about all these other teams that are getting better? So I understand where you're coming from, Pin. I'm just saying, like math.
They're all older.
Math. You know what math does? Math takes out the human element.
Give it away.
Math. The calculator that you use, Pin. These charts that you rely on, they take out the human aspect of things.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all I want to say.
You want to see me as a nerd so badly, but
no, I don't. I don't. There's nothing wrong with being
a lot better than you.
But you are a nerd, though. That's a good thing.
You do. There's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
I think what you said about the draft
was
spectacular. That's a nerd thing. That was one of the best segments of the year.
Okay, first of all, why are we talking about Ox? I can't get almost a 1,500 on his SATs. He a nerd too.
Well, I think
I'm a nerd too.
I think everyone up here is educated, but I think
so what I'm saying, Pin, I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to just be like, oh, you're just a nerd. No, I'm not saying that, Pin. I'm just saying that, like, I think that math 100%. when you just rely on that, things like that, I think it takes out the human element. I think by you saying what you just said, I think you're discrediting the Spurs, you're discrediting the Rockets, you're discrediting a lot of these other up and coming teams. I also don't think there's anything wrong with you saying that the Thunder are on the way to winning the championship. I think you're spot on with that. Just because you put math to it doesn't mean I'm going to disagree with it.
Yo, chill. And by the way, I'd say take them damn SATs. I know. I ain't gonna spill the beans, but
Ron, all you need to know is when I see you, we boxing. That's all you need to know. You
Marty G became a member.
Marty G, we are boxing when I see you. That's it.
Because Ox didn't take his SATs. You want to box me?
Yes. And VSCT also became a member. So shout out to Marty G VSCT. Hunter said, if you want to get nasty, Hakeem better start tucking that chain if Jokic wins another finals.
Well, that's just the way it works. Yeah, that's the way it works. That's always the way it works. That's always the way it works. That's not new. This is every era. This is always the way it works. It always works that way. Yes.
GB became a member. Shout out to GB. D9, member for nearly 2 years, said Dub Friday episodes and Julius Randle is the best Wolves player right now.
He was the best player in the second round, that's for sure.
Mike
kind of dope, Mars. Kind of dope, Mars, being able to rely on the second option, huh? Kind of dope to be able to do that.
Must be nice.
Is Julius Randle about to do his Jaylen Brown thing? Western Conference Finals MVP?
Maybe, but I guarantee Ant won't get the same slander Jason Tatum will.
I bet he will. I bet the hell he will.
I know he will. If Ant ain't got a hater, I'll always be the hater.
What the hell?
I'll always have one. That's chill right there, bro. That's funny.
Mike Will requested to join for the Kobe debate. He played a little basketball. The issue is you don't need to play basketball. You just need to act like you know what you're talking about. That's how I got up it.
Yeah, but Mars, the thing about it though, real hoopers respect Kobe Bryant.
Everyone respects Kobe as a hooper. Yes. But you see, wait, hold on. Wait, did you see all the Gen Zers? The draft kid asked who the best player in the world is. It was like overwhelmingly Jokic.
Yeah, since someone say James Harden, I was like,
yeah, I did. I saw that. He lied. Go ahead.
Man, them kids don't know shit.
Big Mac 2K said, "Hey panel, do you guys think the
Nobody
NBA
said Giannis, by the way,
can do something to help small market teams compete without tanking? Since historically they struggle to sign stars due to location and mostly rely on the draft or trades." No, I think that's just lottery out.
Do it like you do in the NFL. The worst team in the league get the number one pick. I'm tired of this bullshit.
No, then you know how bad the tank is going to be. That's going to ruin the game.
You're going to have 0 wins.
Chill. We got teams. We got franchises. We got GMs with no balls. Talking about no nuts. No, like no
female team.
No.
The Jazz owner is a woman.
Woman.
Okay, y'all. All right, but but you know what I'm saying though. Like,
like it's two different anatomies.
You have a problem with
relax. You're gonna get canceled.
You don't like women in sports? You don't like women in sports?
You don't like fat children. You also don't like women.
No, I think you're gonna get canceled.
But you want to go down this road?
Are you not all inclusive?
All right, y'all. What I'm saying is no heart. There's GMs out here with zero heart, no heart at all, no willingness to compete,
and no heart,
no heart, no willingness to compete. You know what I'm saying? They're just it's terrible. They want to tank. Like, play basketball, compete. I thrive off competition. You have to compete. That's why those teams that got the 4, 5, 6. That's why they didn't get rewarded. Because you gotta have some heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Philly totally competed this year.
You know, Big Ox. Right quick, Mars. You know, Big Ox. A bull without balls is a what?
Thank you.
Cal.
Average Joe said, watching OKC starting to realize one of the biggest problems with Chet getting hurt this year is that he wasn't able to supplant J-Dub and be the definitive number 2 option. J-Dub is great, but he's not a number 2.
Or maybe he's just not ready to be that yet.
He's just not good enough offensively, but not to be what people think he can be consistently. Via CT said Mars is definitely dub host for Kick and Run and actually reading the chats. Thank you. Also, Ox's crash out must win a PC award.
That wasn't a crash out. That was just me. That was just me passionately being sick and tired of this dude, that dude, and Swiper disrespecting Kobe Bryant to big up these other guys that can't tie his shoelaces. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so sick of it, bro. I'm so sick of it. Like we need like first of all, wait, look, stop talking until I'm done talking. Respect.
And then after that, you can't respond because I go to the chat.
Respect Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, we heard all this.
He was great. He was great then. He was great then. But on top of that too, like when a dude like Kobe Bryant passes away like untimely like that, let's not try to use him to create your clicks. Okay, let's stop.
Ox, this is your conscience.
Let's just stop. Let's just stop. I don't have a conscience, Pin. I don't have a conscience.
I know.
Anything?
I'm just saying. You didn't say nothing.
You ain't saying
yapping.
shit. That's what you're saying.
You
You ain't
just
saying
yapping.
shit. You
You
ain't
just
saying a
saying-
goddamn thing, man.
You just yap. Oh my God! Don't disrespect.
Don't
disrespect Kobe Bryant.
You up here using Kobe Bryant for your clicks. You're trying to go. You're trying to go viral over Kobe Bryant. Like, bro, have some integrity, bro. Have some integrity. Have some integrity.
Fake crash out.
You fake all around. You just fake all around. You just come up here and just say bullshit. Stop. Have some integrity. You don't have no nuts. Have some integrity.
Yeah, he was there.
Have some integrity.
Yeah, we watched him play, bro. You can reinvent
Pin,
Kobe
have
all
some
you want.
integrity.
You can
Pin,
play
have some
fantasy.
integrity, Pin. Have some integrity,
I think
Pin.
we want to hear what average.
You the one watching the notebook.
Have
Don't
some
tell me about having
integrity,
no
Pin. Have some
You
integrity,
Have
Pin.
some.
Have some integrity.
Okay.
Yo, Jason.
Average Joe said, Archer Man Goblin, let a brother hold something. Lakers losing this early cost me a couple bands, and my baby needs formula. These are jokes. So I don't think his child is actually at risk. Nice picture.
That's dope.
Latrell became a member.
Shout out Trey.
Void Century said, I can definitely see a move being made if they lose this round, especially because this is the second year of J-Dub disappearing in the playoffs. Send him for Giannis. Would you entertain a J-Dub for Giannis trade with obviously picks and stuff attached?
Hell yeah.
Easy. Yesterday. Last week.
I'm pretty sure Sam Presti on that.
If you don't, you get him fired.
I just think Giannis is better than J-Dub. MP13 on the same lines of that said, so after Giannis comes to the West, we can abolish conferences, right? It's getting out of hand at this point. We need a 1 through 16 next season, Adam. I'm all aboard the 1 through 16.
Yes,
all aboard.
We need that 1 through 16 for sure.
Average Joe said J-Dub is not that young. We got to stop acting like he's 21. He's 24. That's not that young.
That is young. What are you talking about?
He said it's not that young. That's what he said. That young.
It is that young. LeBron's 50. Paul George is what, 36, 35?
Yeah, you're naming old players.
Right.
Yeah, that's old. What I'm saying is 24. He got 10, 12 more years.
Regardless, he's new to the league though. Like he's still
number one, he's new to the league.
Yeah,
number two, he was a late bloomer. So we're not judging all players on the same arc, right? There's certain players that were way ahead when they were 15, 16 years old in AAU. But then there are players that bloom very late, like Dennis Rodman, Ben Wallace, right? They're a little bit young for their age. Ben Wallace was young at 25.
How many late bloomers turn into great offensive players?
Late bloomers? Kawhi Leonard?
Kawhi's another one.
Kawhi, I don't think Kawhi's a late bloomer.
Giannis?
I think he starts scoring later.
Giannis was a bit of a late bloomer, you would say. You know, he didn't really pick up the basketball. Joel Embiid was a late bloomer. Pascal was a late bloomer.
Brunson's a good one.
Brunson's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo, Jason, Marcus, can I ask our Hall of Famer a question?
We've asked him many questions, but if you want to keep derailing me, go ahead.
Yo, Jason.
What's up?
How long have you been following PC?
I think I've been here since what? I think since the Jay Will show, actually. Now I think about it, because I remember this one. I remember this certain conversation on there. I wasn't like consistently watching you guys up till like last year, but I remember this one question that Jay Will show. I think it was he was asked, "Can he get to the paint easily?" And that's what put me on to y'all, because I was like, I never seen an NBA player get asked questions like this on podcasts, so it was just the first I've ever seen of it.
You're welcome for me asking him that question.
You didn't ask him that question. That was Ticket who asked him that. So pipe it down. Mars, that's what you were saying, Mars.
Hold on, wait, chill. Because actually, this is directly related to you. Hey, Jason, what's your last name?
My name Grills, yeah.
You think you got what it takes to survive on the big screen?
Man,
he got a mic and he got a pair.
I'm good with it.
Check it out, Jason.
We see what Ron is doing right now.
The reason why I'm asking, because it's a show on the platform that needs to go. And I got a perfect title for you. What's your last name?
Man.
Grill with chill.
Saturdays. No. Grill with grills. I got you. All right. Grill with grills. I'll get you. You got a real host in me, and we can make it happen. We can do it. I'm gonna hit you on the side, brother. I'm gonna hit you on the side. Saturdays, I got you. This show is no longer. Grill with Grills is next.
That's fire. The best show on the platform. That's crazy.
Oh,
you know, all you got to do, Jason, is make sure you have some integrity. You'll be all right.
DSG Piccolo said Carter Bryant be watching Tamani film. Might be a solid pickup at 11. I'm interested in how he'd fit with the team.
You know what's interesting? I compared him to Tamani, tagged him on the clip. Literally the next day, he gets asked about the question, brings up Tamani Kamara. I clip that. Clip goes viral, has like 700,000 views right now. And every fan base in like 85 different languages is saying, my team got to draft this guy. My team got to draft this guy. And that people messaging me saying, yo, you want this guy at the Raptors at number 9. Stop talking about him so much. He's not going to be there at number 9. And honestly, I think he's not going to be there at number 9 anymore.
And then he's going to come to the NBA and play nothing like Tamani Kamara.
Because you've never watched him. You know what, Ox? You such a you never watched him play once, and you have an opinion about Carter Bryant.
I've never watched the play. I know.
Can I read my speech just now? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mike Will said, "Let me join one of these." My name. Oh, he's giving his whole name. Julian Washburn played in the G League. Was a two-way player. I'm sure you'll know my dad's Chris Washburn.
That's your father?
That's his father.
Yeah.
You don't know Chris Washburn?
I do know Chris Washburn.
Chris Washburn.
He was going to be an all-time great big, and I don't want to show any disrespect. Like when his father's career got derailed because he had a drug problem.
Okay.
That was it.
Very, very common thing, the late 80s.
But he was awesome. His father was awesome.
He was a top 5 pick, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Average Joe said, Ox saying stop talking when I'm talking to Penn got me hype. That being said, I did watch Django yesterday. Again, it was a good. Nice. Mike Will,
that's a great
talk. He said, talk. I know. I want to come up one day and talk hoops with you guys, especially the Kobe stuff. Message Ron. Ron responds to all his DMs.
If you want to talk about Kobe Bryant, just make sure you come up here with some integrity.
Don't worry, Mike. I'll make sure it's the perfect cast.
Message Ron on Instagram, and he'll get back to you in a timely manner because that's what he does. And then a couple more of you guys with your smaller super chats that I'll read because I'm a good host. Ray said Bron was not bad in the 2014 finals.
He wasn't. San Antonio was just that good. He was not bad in 2014. San Antonio was just that good. Fact.
MP13 said, "Oh, it's definitely Friday. What the hell is going on?" Hey, welcome to the show, man.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Bob said, "Shot exercise, line blind wet at Jordan. Go New York, go."
Shot exercise, line blind wet.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know what the hell you got going on.
I don't know. What that is.
1K David said, "Why are we acting like Denver was good all season?
Why are we acting like they sucked all season? Why are we doing that?
51 team in the West can only be so bad doing
Yes.
They weren't great." MP13 said, "I'm doing a worse job than Ron today."
Keep going, MP.
Meanwhile, I read his 199.
Keep going.
No, he is not.
I read his 199.
If he knows podcasting, that's all I know.
MP13 said, "I love Ox, man. Now we just need real talk here." Real talk was meant to be here, apparently. But
yeah, real talk ducked the fade
because Denver won.
Wait, that was MP13 that said that?
Yeah.
Shout out to MP13. That's my dude.
He knows.
Jaza said, "Send him to hell, Big Ox, LMFAO." This is all.
He came back.
And then MP13 said, "I'm either getting a raise or fired." Well, I do this for free. So who knows?
Cheerio, which one is it?
Wait. Y'all getting paid? Y'all get paid?
Yeah, I do this for free. I do this for the love of the game, but you know. And then our final super chat. This is a question which we can all answer. Tito El Bandito said, "Cooper Flag or Amen Thompson for the next 5 years?"
Cooper.
Amen.
Easy. One Cooper, one Amen. Who do you have?
Amen.
2 Amen.
I'll take Thompson.
3 Amens.
I'm gonna take him in.
4 Amens. 4 Amens. 1 Coop. Now I don't mean to cause division, but the people who picked Amen have one thing in common. The person who picked Coop has one thing in common. But that does it for today.
Lower on white prospects than pretty much.
We will be on Playback later today.
Okay.
We will be on Playback today. Doing Boston versus New York Game 6. Tap into that. Thank you guys for watching. Dub host me. And we will see you again for Chill with Chill tomorrow and the panel back on Monday. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Make sure you have some integrity.